Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here, special reoccurring guest, the magnificent Son X.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh, man. How are you guys doing this fine evening?
Oh, wonderful.
Doing well. We were actually doing well at 9 o'clock. Invite. 40 minutes later, finally rolls on through.
Ouch.
Man. Oh, buddy. Got a lot of things I had to get done today, so, yeah.
What shirt are you wearing right now?
It says, the worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
Okay, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
Well,
I was about to say. Nice. It's nice.
Wait. So what was the thing that took you so long to think up an excuse why you were going to be 40 minutes late to the show today?
Well, it's the lovely Paige's birthday, and I forgot to. Here's the thing with a cake.
First of all, it's not her birthday today.
It's the lovely Paige's birthday. We're celebrating this weekend.
This weekend.
That's
This
correct.
Weekend?
This weekend. That's correct.
What does it have to do with you being 40 minutes late today?
Well, I thought for cakes, right? You could just order a cake and you could go. You just say, hey, I order a cake, put some names on it. But apparently it's not that simple. It's a specialty cake. You got to, I don't know, let them know with more time in advance. So I was trying to handle that today. But
Who orders the cake
40 minutes?
at 4 o'clock in the morning?
4 o'clock. Well, it's not that. It was the discussion that took a time. It was the discussion with the lovely Paige that took time up today. So
Go ahead. Nice that you're throwing her under the bus. I appreciate that.
well, I didn't do my thing one time. I didn't know it took a while to make specialty cakes. I thought that was just you order it the same day or something.
Hence the name specialty, right? Yeah, those are the ones they just make every day, right?
Yes, they make cakes every day. They're a bakery. I thought it was easy, huh? But I guess it's not.
Ugh.
Failure.
So TJ's in the doghouse.
Failure.
So
Epic
TJ's in the
failure.
doghouse today.
That's right.
Oh man. So yes, I didn't know it was just. I don't know. You live and learn, I guess. Takes more than 24 hours to get a specialty cake done, but I don't know. Live and learn. But for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. This is a twice a week all sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I hope you realize the time is getting further and further back. It used to be like 9:18, 9:20 we'd start. Now it's 9:30. Now it's back to like 9:40.
Time is just a concept.
Pretty soon it'll be 10 o'clock. You'll be telling people we start at 9.
Time is just a concept, just a frame of mind.
We will be on time Sunday.
No, you won't.
Here's my thing, TJ. Why don't you set your watch like 45 minutes fast? So that way you will be on time.
This guy's gonna be late to his own funeral.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? You know what? We're here. That's a big thing. We're here. We're late, and I'll take blame for that today. Most times it's Grumpy's fault why we're late.
Yeah, sure.
But yes, we usually have the show Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is pertinent, if you like this content, to do a few things. It's pertinent that you subscribe on YouTube, that you like on Facebook and follow on Twitter.
And here's the bigger thing. Hit the notification bell.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, because then when TJ decides to eventually start the podcast, you'll get notified.
That's right. So you're not sitting there for
Waiting,
45 minutes
waiting. I mean, could have
No
ran a
game.
marathon between the time the show was supposed to start and when it finally did.
You run a 40 minute, you run a 40 minute, 20 something miles, Grumpy?
5
5K
days for sure.
for certain.
Probably half
It's
there.
quick, man. That's like 2 miles. What, 2 miles and change?
3 miles. Thanks for playing.
I don't think is it 3 exactly?
It's like
Or is it
3
three and change?
miles.
Long story short, get your ass and start the podcast on time. I'll
Okay.
try to make it real simple for you.
Hey, don't get Grumpy pissed.
Grumpy, are you pissed off? I know you don't usually like when I'm late.
I don't like it when you're late.
I know everybody doesn't. I don't like it when I'm late either, but just
Here's the thing, it's
You
easy
just
for
do
you.
it every single podcast. You don't like when you're late, but you do it all the time.
it's
So apparently, maybe you do like it. Maybe you secretly do like it.
I don't like certain things that happen during a podcast, but they happen. So,
Oh,
what are you taking a deep breath for, Grump?
talking about you watching TV, Grump.
What do you mean?
Oh, we know exactly what
You're exasperating.
I need to deflect.
Your failures are not our problem.
That's right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But again, yes, hit the notification bell. And if you like the content, hit the thumbs up because apparently that helps the algorithm. It gets this fun time, this fun podcast out to the masses.
And just hit the like button. Always hit the like button.
As Grumpy said, even if you don't like the content, hit the like button.
Hit the like button. If you hate TJ, hit the like button.
If you're upset that TJ's late to the show, smash the like button.
We might break the record on likes for this show.
Oh, wow.
That comment, Grump.
Maybe.
I will say this. I know the last podcast we had was removed from YouTube because we played about a minute-long clip of Let's Dance. Apparently, don't fuck around with that. They restricted the video in all countries. So I just saw about that today. So that didn't help me staying on time. So I had to edit the video to make sure it got out. But yes, so if you were missing last week's episode, like what the hell happened to Sunday's episode? We had one. It's being processed. I just had.
If you don't play the video and you just listen to the song, I think you're allowed to do that.
It's a song. It's a song. So let me rephrase it, Grumpy. It is the song. They hear the song and like these bots pick up the noise that comes around and says, "Uh-oh, we can't let that sound happen." And
now, what if I had the same voice as that person and I sung the song and it sounded exactly like that?
Yes, if they could take that down, absolutely.
I don't believe that's the case.
You don't. Okay. Grumpy, the guy who has never spent a second on YouTube besides watching like old hockey fights from the 1980s and watching WWE matchups for the 1980s, you don't know what they're going to take down for copyright restrictions.
That's some good quality stuff right there.
Anyway, but today we do have enough dicking around, guys. Today we have a lot to talk about. The NBA draft is ongoing during our live stream, which is great. It's fun. Good to talk about a little bit of the NBA action. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit as well. Saudi money, Qatari money is entering in American sports for the first time in a large way. I wonder how this is going to go. I wonder if we're going to see, and it continues to enter more and more of the soccer realm. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on with the Saudi money in the soccer realm. There's accusations that Todd Boehly, the owner of Chelsea Football Club, is essentially money laundering. They're saying, is his form of money laundering, which not really, but he's essentially laundering off financial fair play issues to the Saudi league because he has a close relationship to some of the owners there. So we're going to talk about the accusations and Chelsea is being looked at in a negative light right now. We'll talk why.
Oh, that'll be highly rated. That'll be a highly rated portion of the podcast.
What do you mean?
Okay, just continue.
Greg Berhalter.
I'm just to see how deep in the weeds we can get on that.
Greg Berhalter has been brought back as the U.S. men's national team coach after thorough investigation. So he's been brought back. We'll talk a little bit about the reaction. Alexi Lalas has come out there and been very vocal on it. Our buddy here from our buddy Davey Martinez, the manager for the Washington Nationals.
I like him.
I do too, but he's coming up in more of the news section. I know last time he went ahead and showed, hey, this guy's outside the baseline running the first. And he went ahead and had a little picture of it during a post-game presser, and he flipped out on the umpires. Well, he happened to have another explosive reaction with an umpire here recently. That's always fantastic. We're going to talk about the NHL. They're going to ruffle some feathers. They are canceling any sort of Pride warm-up jerseys, I believe is what they said, and we'll talk about the statements made here by Gary Bettman. We'll talk a little bit about LSU, who came up here, and I'd say that they came up because definitely some infractions for recruiting violations, and you're seeing a whole bunch of teams and coaches got popped for that. But Les Miles having wins vacated off of the record. You always love that, right? 10, 20 years down the road, they say, hey, all those wins you had a decade or 2 decades ago, we're going to start taking those away like they give a shit. So
the only team they won't take wins away from is Carolina. That's it.
Oh, wow.
It's the truth.
So we'll be.
X is not a North Carolina Tar Heel fan for those who are uninitiated.
Yes. So we've got a lot to talk about. X, do you have a fan blowing on your computer?
I have a fan blowing in the room. Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
What are you going to tell him? He's got to shut the fan down now? He was ready. Maybe the room is all heated up because he's been doing the podcast for 45 minutes before you showed up.
Oh.
I got a whole workout in while I was waiting for you.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Keep them coming. I deserve it. But so we got a lot to talk about today. Let's get on the docket here with some comments. Drew saying, I'm so effing pissed the NBA could have had Suggs black
dick trip down in Orlando. I don't even know what that means. But no, Orlando decided to ruin all the fun by drafting some guy named Walter F. Star K. I don't know his name. Walker.
Orlando.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I guess Drew's unhappy. You could tell he's pissed. Everything was in capitals, so he's like yelling in typing etiquette. That's yelling.
James F says here, the NBA draft, I feel like an Islanders fan when it comes to the first round picks because the Knicks don't have first round picks.
Yeah. It's like, hey, thanks for showing up.
For the Knicks, that's pretty much past like 8th pick in the NBA draft. And also, welcome back to the 9:38 p.m. podcast.
Ooh.
Yep.
Who says, TJ, how does it feel to be delayed? Grumpy, how does it feel to be enraged? Son X, how does it feel to be engaged? I'll go first. I don't like being delayed, but here we are. Grumpy, how does it feel to be enraged?
Whenever I see TJ and he's delayed, it makes me enraged.
X, how does it feel to be engaged?
It feels fantastic. It feels great.
Drew saying here, TJ, you're shifting the goalpost. Don't distract literally everyone else from your failures.
Thank you.
Drew.
Good says the Jets have already enjoyed their first season-ending injury to a starter. When will it be Mr. Aaron Rodgers' turn? Who got injured for the Jets?
Safety. I sent it to you today, TJ.
How did you send it to me?
Instagram. Hold on, I'll go back and look. See who.
Okay. When you listen to me, X,
here you go. Now he's going to lecture you on how you should provide information, X. That's what he's going to do. He's going to give you a lecture on what you should do to provide him with information.
How many messages you send me on Instagram a day?
Dude, you don't even look at them, though. That's the thing.
Because how many do you send to me?
He sent you one. First ending today at 9 o'clock. Be ready.
Oh my God.
It was.
You got to cut that fan off.
I don't hear the fan.
Chuck Clark.
Okay.
So he's a safety.
ACL injury after the
safety,
season.
right? Yeah, that's those non-contact injuries. They're always ACLs, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Chuck Clark, he played for who was it? For the Ravens, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Chuck Clark for the Ravens.
That's a loss for them.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I just pulled up his stats. He had 101 total tackles last year. You wonder how many of those are like fudge numbers, but 61 solo tackles and 40 assisted tackles. So 101 cumulative tackles last year in 17 games.
That's a loss for them. That was a weakness that they addressed. They didn't address it in the draft. They addressed it via free agency.
Sure.
And to lose a guy in non-contact drill and OTAs, it's like, ugh. At least they have plenty of time to dig somebody up, but that's a loss for them for certain.
Drew said, if you're upset with TJ, leave a 1-star review. TJ, you got your priorities wrong. Today is supposed to be a stream of the NBA draft. We're going to be talking about it.
Yeah, we're watching it right now. Yeah. I don't know anybody.
I don't know any of these guys. None of them. Not one.
I knew the Wembanyama kid because they hyped him up the whole draft that he was like the number one pick, super duper good. But yeah, I couldn't name another single player.
I mean, Bentley Bumfuckiston. I mean, I don't know who any of these guys are. I don't know who any of them are. I'm serious. I don't know any of them. And here's
Come on, you're not giving yourself enough credit, Grumpy. Come on.
I don't know any of these guys. I knew the Miller kid who went to Charlotte at the number 2 pick. That's right, because he's a killer.
Or he provides the murder weapon.
He provides the murder weapons to people.
Supposedly.
He's the plug. He's the plug for the murder weapons.
I mean, Scoot Henderson. He played
in the G League.
I don't even know where he played. It's like, okay, no one knows any of those guys. I didn't even know the first round pick. No idea who it was. No idea. Guy,
hold on. First overall pick? You said first round pick.
Yeah, first overall pick. Played in France.
Yeah.
Who's watching French basketball?
The Wembanyama. Well, okay, well, Luka Doncic played over in Spain, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah, but I didn't know him either draft night. That's the whole thing. You don't know any of these guys. You don't see them. Back in my day, in the Wayback Machine, not too far back.
Back in my day,
they only let guys 3 years out of college they can come. You've seen these guys every single week playing college basketball, so you knew it wasn't as popular overseas. That came in after '92, after the Olympics. That's when it became a big sport overseas. When young other countries started developing talent. But it's like, I don't know who. I'm serious. I don't know what any of these guys are.
TJ, I have a question for you. Since it is NBA draft night, and your boy Timmy is NBA draft eligible, are you going to rock the sweatband for him?
No, wasn't he going back? Doesn't he go back to Gonzaga again?
No, he's not going back to Gonzaga again. He was a senior.
Yeah,
but I thought he was going back for an extra year. Oh my God! Look at that. He's got scoliosis.
Oh man.
Oh,
that's good.
Yeah, baby. Go Zags! Is this better for you, X?
I thought he went back to Gonzaga again.
No, he didn't go back to Gonzaga.
Would he be like a 9th-year senior?
They had that COVID thing where you get an extra year.
So he'll be like Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
27 coming out in the bigs.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah. They said, no, he definitely is draft eligible. He's in the draft. Oh, he may go undrafted. What the? He may go undrafted?
Timmy.
He's a slow white guy. Where the hell is he going?
Joking.
Honestly, he's a guy he won't. I don't think he'll be a star, but he'll absolutely play in the NBA.
I think so too.
In the second round, I don't see why you don't take a flyer on a guy like that.
He's a good team player.
He's a good team player. He can do a lot of different things. I mean, I don't like him just because I don't like him. But as an NBA pro, I think he'd be a good guy off the bench. Like I said, can pass the ball, clutch. He's a clutch player too. You need a basket, he'll get it for you.
Yeah, he's played well. So like this is where
you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse than picking the Timmy kid.
This is where, especially in the second round, this is where the draft and specifically NBA kind of gets, I think, a little lost in the translation. Lost. They lose the method. They lose the reason for it. They think themselves. They lose the plot. Exactly. They get to where it's like, hey, I'm more obsessed with the possible projection of a player ABC instead of somebody who I've seen proven results from and know what they can do. Any thoughts, guys?
I agree. I mean, I think a lot of times they draft the guys who are extremely overhyped, even coming out of high school, since basketball is different than football. It's one and done usually. So they'll draft, this guy was the number one recruit in high school. He did decently, or he did pretty good in college. That means that he still has that potential and that possibility to be a really good player in the NBA. So he gets drafted number 1 overall. Perfect example, Zion Williamson, guy who had all the hype coming out of high school, had all the hype in college, did well in college, and then ended up coming to the pros, injury after injury, can't stay healthy, couldn't do anything. Whereas, you see some other guys who might not have been the greatest player in college or the greatest player coming out of high school who get drafted and prove themselves in the NBA.
They're always looking for the upside.
Yep.
And it's just they look for the most athletic guy. That's what they look for, because athleticism rules in the NBA, because it's how many organized plays do you see really? It's
not many.
Spread the floor, shoot a 3.
Isolation ball.
Pick and pop. That's literally it.
And it's like, come on, or get a rebound, dunk. There is no mid-range game anymore. They don't do it. it's more, if you hit 35% of your threes, it's better than shooting 60% of your twos is the way they look at it.
It's
the game has
screens on the
changed.
perimeter. It's screens on the perimeter and hit threes. That's what
That's
it is.
That's it. Guys, 7-footers hitting threes. It's like, you know what? Hey, how about pounding it down low? It drives me crazy when games are tight and guys are just launching threes. I'm like, drive the basket, draw a foul. Right? X, how many times was I saying that in the playoffs this year? Make somebody foul you, put them in foul trouble, hit your free throws.
Yep.
Launching threes. Just launching threes. Stop.
They're wasted in poor possessions. But, when you look at, like, kind of getting back to the point, a guy like Timmy produced for years, but, he's older. Oh, well, maybe this guy who was a backup or who played, half of the time as a starter, who's a freshman, who we like his size and we like what he can project to be. They're always so fixated and fascinated on trying to get a guy who has this crazy upside instead of taking a surefire thing. I mean, like the likelihood of a guy like a Draymond Green, who was successful at Michigan State as a basketball player, turning out and being a guy who can contribute is much higher than no-name player ABC who was a number 1 overall recruit but had a shitty year, and now we're going to draft him just because of what he did in high school. Because shit like that happens.
And the other thing you don't realize is these guys are 19 years old when they come out of college. They're all 19, right? If you're no good, if you spend more than 1 year in college, it's like, oh, your draft stock is dropping because you spent more than 1 year in college. I'm like, it's so dumb, honestly. Just stupid and short-sighted. Joel Embiid, his 1 year in Kansas,
Joel Embiid is 1 year in Kansas. He probably, he played extremely well. He was a dominant force at Kansas.
He wasn't a dominant force in Kansas. He was good, but I never thought he was going to be like he is in the pros. I mean, he's electric in the pros.
Yeah.
I mean, his 1 year at Kansas, okay, Joel Embiid. Okay. I mean, I didn't think he was
the same thing with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis at Kentucky wasn't like, oh my God, Anthony Davis, the best player in college basketball. It wasn't like that.
You look at Joel Embiid's stats
in the pros.
Joel Embiid's stats, he averaged 11.2 points per game. He averaged total rebounds of 8.1 rebounds a game and 1.4 assists. So, yeah, he definitely, you look at his numbers, nowhere near what the numbers look like on a consistent night in, night out basis for Joel Embiid as a pro.
And again, you don't know what a kid's going to be when he's 18 or 19. You just don't. Like you brought up Zion Williamson, X. The one thing you couldn't measure for him was his heart. I just don't think he has it.
Oh, you don't think Zion has it?
I think he's more interested in other things.
Can't talk at the same time.
You see Zion Williamson, dude, your livelihood depends on you staying in shape, and you just won't do it, can't do it. All of a sudden now he's doing it because it's the last year of his contract. That kind of ticks me off a little bit.
Yep.
I like Zion Williamson. I do. I think the guy has raw and natural talent. I think that if he stays healthy, he's got to watch out for it. You can't
the big if, though. That's the big if. He's never healthy.
I think his ass needs to get in shape. Sure. He does need to take.
Just said.
That's what I just said. He's not a professional. He's not a professional.
If you really care,
who does that lie on for a rookie or a young guy who's not a professional? Who does that lie more on? The kid or the organization?
You're in the league 3 years.
He's not a rookie.
A young kid, he's young. He's still 20. He's in the league for 3 years. He's 22 years old, right? Who does it lie on more?
At the end of the day, a
22-year-old might not properly be motivated yet as a young 22-year-old. I put a little bit of onus on the franchise too.
Who's going to crack the whip on him when he's the number one pick?
Should be the fucking franchise.
Okay, he makes so much money that he could just say, "Nope, I'm not doing it."
Get your fat, lazy ass in shape.
He's too busy dating porn stars and doing all this other shit.
Impregnating 3 women.
I mean, that's what he does.
So you think that's keeping him from working out hard and staying
in shape? It tells me if anything, not a professional
workout. But
hold on, you can't speak at the same time. What was that, X?
I said, if anything, you thought it would have been a workout, but
it tells me he's not a professional.
He's 22 years old. How many 22-year-olds are professionals?
Dude, you're getting paid a lot of money.
It's not
You're
my
getting
question.
paid
It's not my
tens of
question.
millions of dollars.
Not my question. How many 22-year-olds are professionals at that age?
I mean,
here's my thing though, TJ. What do you expect the organization to do? They make him a nutrition plan. They have him work out. They have the team facilities that he can work out at any time. They can't have somebody go home with him and monitor him, make sure he's not eating ho-hos and cupcakes at the house.
Really?
Really? You think they're going to have somebody sit in with him all the time?
I think they need to do a better job of making sure that they have complete autonomy and control of everything he does. If you continue to tell him this is what you need to do to step up and to be a consistent performer, maybe they're not doing a good enough job translating the message of you could make this, right? You like money? You could make this if your ass is in shape. But if you play like this and you're fat and you're out of shape and you can't stay healthy, you won't make money. His agent should be telling him the same shit too. He should be hearing this from everybody.
But here's the thing. Guaranteed contracts in the NBA.
Players get their asses kissed on a consistent basis. I'm saying his agent probably is too busy kissing his ass to tell him what needs to be told. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say the franchise is too busy kissing his ass compared to telling him what needs to be done for him to be a true professional. Because so many of these guys get their asses kissed because of the value that they have instead of being told what actually they need to do. And guess what? Sometimes, eventually, franchises and organizations, agents, teammates need to come up and tell the guy what actually needs to be done and have a real honest conversation with the kid. I don't know if an honest conversation's been had with a guy like that.
I think you're wrong. I think what it is the same thing that happens in all sports. These guys get paid a shit ton of money. They do a little bit, not really great until it comes to the end of their contract, and then you see them bust their ass to get a new contract. That's exactly what it is.
Zion Williamson, right now, they just said here, this is the first time that he's been in the offseason at the Pelicans training facility because he knows. He's at the end of his rope.
Who do you think takes blame for that?
The player. How about, you know what? Here's the thing.
Hey, Zion, get your ass here. We want you at the fucking facility. If not, you're going to serve a suspension at the beginning of the year because everybody's here to be a part of the team.
It's voluntary. I'm not going.
Everybody voluntarily is here. Be a part of the team. And if not, you're going to freaking not be part of the team. Be a part of the team.
That's fine. I'll sit and collect a fucking paycheck. That's fine. No problem.
You don't get it. Here's a term that all you youngsters just don't know. How about personal responsibility? Instead of saying somebody else should be doing something, how about him being a professional? How about earning your money? That's why I don't believe in guaranteed contracts. You know what you say? Here you think. You get paid based on performance.
Earn it.
Earn your money.
You'll get paid
at the end of the year based on
minimum and then bonuses. A minimum and then bonuses. You can hit that money amount through bonuses if you hit your bonuses throughout the season. How about that?
Here's the thing. You want to talk about a guy who is dedicated to the team, not afraid to show up? Just take a look-see at this.
Access to the Patriots facility there in Foxborough. And during the offseason, Gronk would go out all night with his boys in Boston, stay up till 3, 4 in the morning, whatever it was, and have his crew drop him off at the Patriots facility. And he would stagger into the Patriots locker room, key fob in, and go pass out on the training tables in the Patriots training room. So then an hour or two later, when the trainers would come in to start their workday, they'd come in there and see Gronk just sprawled out on the training table, just fast asleep. They would go over there. They wouldn't wake him up. They would roll up one of his sleeves and stick an IV in his arm. After a couple of hours, he would just wake up like Frankenstein revived and go out there and just kick ass. But we all had these key fobs that gave us 24/7 access to the Patriots facility.
Okay, so you talk about dedication to a team. Some players have it. Some people, when they're young, need to be reminded what it is and what their responsibility is. He's a young kid. He's 22 fucking years old.
Okay. Rob Gronkowski, you know what? Come Sunday, he performed.
This guy's on the field. When this guy's on the court, he performs.
He's always hurt.
But that's the thing. He's never on the court. He's always hurt because he's unhealthy. When you're bending the effing floorboards in the basketball gym, launching yourself off them, that's a problem.
Hold on.
You need to lose some weight. You didn't see that video? Look it up. Zion Williamson bends floorboards while dunking. Look it up. You see the shit bowed in.
All of a sudden now, the last year of his contract, he's getting in shape. it's a risk trading for a guy like that or signing a guy like that. He's a guy who made the money. He's like, oh, it's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
That's another thing different in the NFL. No guaranteed money. The signing bonus guaranteed, everything else, no.
I assume this is what you're talking about here, X.
Yes.
Oh, I
You
do
see
see
the
that.
floor? I mean, he's jumping on like it's a damn exercise mat, the way that shit's bending in.
Hold on a second. We'll put this in slow-mo. We'll take the volume off because I want.
He's a tremendous, and his thing, when in shape, oh my goodness.
It looks like the floor starts to bend as he's going to the damn basket too. Look at this.
You know what?
Yeah, look at the floor. It's just bending underneath him. Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's big as hell.
Let me just tell you something. If this is him working out, is this what he needs to work on in his game?
Explosion.
I'm gonna let you know. I think he more so did that for fun after his workout.
Because he already looks kind of sweaty.
I'm gonna say
He
that
just
something
maybe
because
because
after his workout.
Maybe he's
Wind
got
sprints.
maybe he's got meat sweats.
Wind sprints is probably what he needs to be doing.
All I'm going to say is this. Sometimes the guys who don't initially take personal responsibility need to be helped and mentored along the way. Here's the thing. When you have a guy of this caliber and this type of talent, sometimes you have to do what it takes to mentor them to make sure that they don't freaking fail. And once they understand the responsibility that they hold and what the team's expectations of them and what he can really do, then they're a fantastic leader. Sometimes he
will never be a leader. He will you cannot sell me he's a leader. You maybe can sell me that he'll be a basketball player down the line. Leader, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It almost looks like, by the way, really quickly, the floorboards are almost like a little bit of a trampoline. Like, look at every fucking step. The floor is like creaking and bending.
It looked like a gymnastic mat.
Maybe it's the only way he can get up to slam the ball anymore is if he's got a little WWE ring jump there.
I'm just saying he's heavy as shit to be bending the freaking floor. That's all I'm gonna say. He needs to lose some weight.
He is.
It's always been his problem. Get in shape. Because when he's in shape, he's tremendously athletic. Almost impossible to stop, but he don't care. You know, he's not a professional. He's not a professional. End of sentence, end of story. Not professional.
When you're blowing through basketball shoes, you weigh too much.
There you go.
That was in college.
What's the difference?
He was still huge in college. I mean, they said he probably needed to lose weight. The thing was, he got drafted and he put on even more weight than he was in college. And everybody said he's really freaking big.
He was trying in college. As soon as he got that guaranteed money, I'm not going to blow out any more basketball shoes. I'm not going to try that hard.
Yep.
God. Oh, man. It's.
Do we want to discuss the Jordan Poole trade? Since we're on the topic of basketball.
Yeah, X, go ahead. I'll pull it up here. I'll pull up an image.
Jordan Poole to the Wizards, I think. It was Jordan Poole and some picks to the Wizards, I think, for Chris Paul.
What's your take on that, X?
If that's correct in what I said, I think it's terrible.
For
Golden State, awful. He's a rookie. He's the future of their team. And Chris Paul's pretty much, I mean, at this point in time, nowhere near the same caliber player he used to be. And you already have a starting point guard.
Chris Paul's 38 years old.
Yeah, he's ancient.
I don't understand that at all.
I thought it was really dumb.
Get it. I just don't. I mean, maybe Washington's eating some of the salary. I don't know. I mean, he was moved from Phoenix to Washington and now from Washington to Golden State.
What I'm thinking it was is they got rid of him due to the issue that happened with Draymond Green.
Yeah, so Jordan, here it is too. Yep, the deal was struck there between Washington Wizards to acquire Paul on Thursday, or the Golden State Warriors and Washington Wizards. They're going to acquire Chris Paul. Jordan Poole had a 4-year, $140 million contract starting this season. And you're right. There it is. Like, Poole is in a situation where they did have the issue. And remember that Draymond Green, if they want to go ahead, because here it is. I don't know if you could see this on the right. It was the Warriors received Chris Paul. The Wizards received Jordan Poole.
We can't read that unless we have a telescope. Not going to be able to read that trade details.
Just read it out to us, TJ, so we can just hear it. That's fine.
Can you see this better now, Grumpy?
Much better. Thank you.
Better now. Yep.
The Wizards are going to receive Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, a 2027 second-round pick, and a protected 2030 first-round pick. Don't you love it that they can trade draft picks that are like 7 to 8 years away? Who the hell knows what the freaking Golden State Warriors are going to look like by 2030? But
they'll be bad then.
Yeah.
It's a top 20 protected pick.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this here. I think Golden State's just trying to go after one more ring. That's simple.
Why Chris Paul?
Golden State's general manager got canned this offseason, right?
He left. He didn't get canned. He left.
Okay, he left. Whatever. They may be mutually decided to part ways.
No, he left. It was not mutual. He just, I don't want to be here anymore.
Here's my thing. You trade away the future of your team for a guy who's honestly washed up.
I don't think they're concerned about the future of their team at all. I think they're concerned just about trying to win one more championship. And they said Chris Paul maybe has better chemistry, maybe works better. Another solid point guard.
Steph Curry doesn't come off the floor.
He's a serial loser. He's never won anything. And in the big game, he disappears. He's a serial loser, Chris Paul. Never won anything.
You got a sixth man for a guy who doesn't come off the floor. What are you going to run, 2 point guards?
I mean, I didn't understand it. And the Draymond Green thing is overrated as far as I'm concerned. If you're moving Jordan Poole, Draymond Green's at the end of his rope as well.
I'm telling you, that's probably the reason why they got rid of him. I think it was really dumb by Golden State.
Maybe
really dumb.
Maybe Jordan Poole said something like, "I'm not playing here."
Unless
move him, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
And we don't know the inner workings. We really don't.
But I feel for Jordan Poole and those picks, you could have gotten more. I feel.
I don't know. I think people really still value Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is at the end of the rope too. At the end of the road, I'm sorry. But he's
38 years old. He's 38 years old.
You know who else was at 38 years old who still had value, Grumpy?
Oh.
You know who, Grumpy.
Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a different sport. And there's a difference between a guy who's okay and the best.
I was going to say something else. Somebody else who Grumpy really likes. That was talented at 38 years old.
He decided to buy franchises instead.
There it is. He was playing until he's 40. So maybe Chris Paul can play until he's 40, Grumpy.
He can't even play now. He's 38.
Oh, God.
Actually, his brother's going to come in Cliff Paul and play. So
I have an interesting take. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the Women's World Cup happens this year, and they're starting to put out advertisements for it. Now, this is an individual who, and we like soccer, right? We like it. We're going to post this up. They have the official FIFA Women's World Cup, the USA World Cup advertisement. And I think this guy does a great job of explaining why Americans are hated sometimes. And it's I think perfectly encapsulated in this advertisement. I'll let you watch.
This is the official FIFA Women's World Cup advert for USA. Just take a look at it. This is the most American thing you will watch today.
And the whole world is wondering, what's it going to take to stop this U.S. team?
First of all, the whole world's not wondering what it's going to take. Probably Indonesia or them Mandela are wondering.
The whole world's not even watching.
What about Rose or Trinity?
Poor bloody Rapino.
Rapino scores!
We could get younger players.
They already did that.
We have veteran experience.
Listen to what you're saying. That is a world-class combination. Their flights could get canceled.
They're even taking shots at Australia. They're pretty much saying that the whole world is fearing how good they're going to be in the World Cup. Like, this is the most American thing I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously?
We can steal their players.
Steal their players. Steal their players.
Okay, no woman can kick the ball that
trained
far.
for 4 years in an AR simulation that mimics their every move.
Yeah.
Initializing crystal done. I got it. We go back in time and stop them from ever playing soccer.
Like America, again, no one cares about you to the extent that you think people care about you. And this epitomizes everything that we like. Who's the creative director? Fire, my brother.
It's a great game. You'll love it.
Wait, are you just describing the plot of Terminator? What's
I'm
it
done.
gonna take?
Turn this shit off.
Stop.
I'm done.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm done.
I've seen it.
What's wrong, Grumpy? What's wrong, Grumples?
I root against the
guy
United
said, "I'm
States
done."
women's team.
Turn
I
this
root against them. I root them
You
to
both
lose.
can't talk at the same time. But go ahead, one at a time, please.
I root against the U.S. women's soccer team. I root against them.
I love how the guy said, "I'm done with this. Turn this shit off."
At the same time, Grumpy's like, turn this shit off, dude.
I didn't even hear him say that.
He was saying, he's like, I can't watch this advertisement. And Grumpy's like, turn this shit off now.
No, that's what the guy said was turn this shit off.
I thought Grumpy
No, that
was
was me.
telling
I
him.
said that.
No, the guy said turn it.
They both, Grumpy, they both said turn it off. Trust me, I've watched
Okay.
it before.
It was insufferable.
bad.
But he's right with that, though. Look at how we're trying to, like, on a global scale. Here's the thing. Brazil's got a great women's soccer. There's a lot of good teams and nationalities out there for women's soccer. And it's like, oh, everybody thinks, oh, man, we can't beat USA. Oh, USA's so this, they're so that. I'm like, we just come off as conceited as hell in an advertisement like that. I'm like, ugh. Even if you are the best, how often do you see, like, Real Madrid putting out some sort of advertisement like that to be like, oh yeah, everybody wants to be Champions League. Yeah, we own it. We've won more Champions Leagues than anybody else, you know, Man City, good luck. You know, how often do you see other teams like that taking a huge stand and shitting on every other nationality or every other team they play? It's just so stupid.
The only thing that would be justice for this is if they get mercilessly killed by
in the first round
by one of these other countries. And then they play that ad and are like, well, I guess we didn't need to do any of this shit and we were still able to beat you.
It's funny because I read one of the comments when it said, what can you do to stop them? Have them play a boys 15-year-old team.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
I mean, here's the thing. Women's soccer is just inferior to men's soccer.
Okay,
Just is.
I'm just more talking about the advertisement. That's why we're bringing this up, Grumpy. Can we manage to keep
I'm
on
just saying,
task, please?
They just make a whole lot of the whole world is not watching. They're not watching women's soccer. It's basically a friends and family, and maybe
that was about a 3-second clip. So let's talk about the remainder, right? The reason I brought this up, Grumpy. Can we stay a little bit on focus?
I don't know why you bring up women's sports. You're just trying to provoke me.
No, you're asking. I guess you can't.
Because they're inferior. It's an inferior product.
Okay. Is that what you took away from that fucking commercial, Grumpy?
Yes. It's like no goaltender can stop a ball that's more than 3 foot off the ground. Well, here's the thing, but none of the women can kick the ball top shelf either.
Grumpy,
It's like
the reason I showed that advertisement was because of how conceited we look, and the reason why people from other countries do not like Americans, point in case for shit in advertisements like that.
Let's say case in point.
I'm glad that's what we determined to go ahead and pick up on and pick a little, be nitpicky on, Grumpy.
Awful commercial. And now, honestly, with that, we can't lose. People have to try and cheat to beat us. I hope they fucking lose.
We've got to go ahead and go back in time to make all these players not want to play soccer, because that would help. You know, that's the only thing that could save our chances to win. I'm like, we just come off as so unbelievably fucking arrogant. I root against us too. If we're not from the US, I would be rooting so unbelievably hard against whatever nationality would be producing some bullshit like that.
I'm from the U.S. and I root against us. I root for every team who plays the United States. Here's the thing: they're too good to get not. They'll make it.
They're a really good team. They're a really good team.
But you know what? They've been kind of lucky. Got some lucky calls, lucky breaks the last couple of big tournaments. Haven't won them all, by the way. So maybe their time is done. I mean, my God, it's women's soccer. Who cares?
You done on that subject, Grumpy? Oh my God.
For now, I don't know why you bring that shit up. You are provoking me. You know how I feel about it. It's an inferior product.
You have the restraint of a fucking 3-year-old.
Why don't you
ask you to restrain yourself to go over? Grumpy, hold on. Stop watching the draft. Pay attention to me now for a second, Grumpy. We need your eyes. We need full attention from the grumpy old man.
Speak.
I am showing you to show the ad. That ad is going to be run multiple times over the next few months. Get ready for it. If you watch fucking TV, you're going to see that advertisement, Grumpy, okay?
Grumpy's gonna have to halt his TV watching.
Are you going to turn off all TVs in the household?
Grumpy will be paying attention fully to the podcast come Sunday.
Oh,
TV will be off.
Click, next channel, click.
Oh, God.
So
it's more to show you. It's more to show you what you're gonna like, how that advertisement is perceived by others and how it should be perceived by us. I just think it's odd. It's an odd advertisement to put out there. I think we miss the mark and we come off as cocky and assholes.
They don't give a shit.
You know what it reminds me of? If it was an advertisement for boys junior high school football. No. Inferior product, no interest whatsoever.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. Can you tell me that 5 or 6 more times? Because
inferior product.
Grump, I didn't hear it. One more time, please.
Just a shit product. Shit.
Okay.
Not worth watching.
Okay.
It was inferior shit.
Good, Grumpy.
Grumpy, I didn't heed your advice from last night, and I ate my flapjacks this morning with honey instead of syrup. I admit it. The situation stunk. I don't know why you don't listen to me. Maple syrup is what goes on pancakes, not honey. Only losers like TJ like honey. Well, TJ, we did the Winnie the Pooh thing.
You know what, Grumpy?
You know what honey is? Honey is the only food that does not go bad.
Honey it doesn't perish, but it can definitely get where it kind of like congeals and gets solidified, and it's.
Why would you put it on pancakes?
I'm just saying it was an interesting
shit what you put it on. You know what, Grumpy? I'd put honey on pancake. You know, I like putting anything on fucking pancakes, Grumpy.
That's why I just said, Goon Goon, why do you listen to a moron like TJ? Listen to me.
TJ, let's be honest. You don't have the patience to put stuff on the pancakes after they're cooked.
No, I do. You kidding me?
Remember you just used to eat them with your hands?
He'd fold them up. He'd fold them up.
Roll them up and just funnel it down his throat.
Yep.
Don't knock it until you try it, Grump. Jesus. What X?
No, I'm just saying, Jesus. Like, I remember you doing that, folding the damn pancakes up and just swallowing them whole.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Grumpy just left. Grumpy left the podcast. He said, I'm done. Click.
Oh, God.
He saw that ad. He's like, I'm done.
Let's use this time period to talk about Wii Hoopin'. We do need to get without Grumpy seeing this, because I know he's technologically not advanced enough to know what's going on. We need to go ahead and get a cameo from Wii Hoopin'. I'm not even kidding you. We need to get a cameo. Shh.
I'm pretty sure Grumpy would.
Hold on, don't let him know. Grumpy's back. Hey, Grumpy, how are you today, man?
Fine.
You lost you for a second.
Yeah. TJ probably cut me out of the podcast because I was making too much sense again.
No, Grumpy.
That's it. Grumpy, be useful and start reading some comments here, Grumpy, from Drew.
Of course, out of all the days and times, Phil had to start a space now. Shake my head.
Oh, he started a space. I didn't even get an invitation from Philly Facts.
What's a space?
It's like they do it on Twitter where they talk about Islanders.
Oh.
Like Goon Goon, Grumpy.
Wasn't Mad Men an outstanding television program? That Don Draper was one smooth MRFer, but also slimy as eel snot. Did you ever watch Mad Men?
I watched a little bit of Mad Men. I haven't watched the whole show. I watched a couple episodes with you and the warden when I was living there.
The warden liked that show.
Yeah.
I couldn't, honestly, if you ask me, I mean, I know what it was about, but there was nothing that stood out where I'm like, oh, man, that's great to show on TV.
It didn't impact you enough where you remember stuff about it.
Yeah. He was an advertising executive and, family life and blah, 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 yada, yada, whatever.
Thanks for going so much in depth on that one, Grumpy.
Well, if we didn't start the podcast 45 minutes early, now we don't have time for cute little anecdotes. Don't have time for it today because TJ's 45 minutes late. Drew says, LOL, TJ, goes to no worries to turn that effing thing off.
Talk about the fan.
Yeah.
James F says, this NBA draft coverage is bad. They're showing all the picks. Yeah. They try to drag that shit out as long as you can.
Just, you know what? That honestly, the draft shouldn't take more than an hour.
Yep.
They're not even done with the first. They are not even done with the first round yet. They're on pick number 21 or pick number 22. Think about that.
How would you know? How would you know?
Because I can pull it up. I have my CBS NBA draft tracker. They're on pick number 22. The Brooklyn Nets pick is in, and they've got, I think, back-to-back picks. But think about this. The draft started, what, 2.5 hours ago? Or 2 hours ago almost?
2.5 hours ago.
They're not even done with the first fucking round.
The NFL, the first round takes, 3.5, 4 hours to do.
Well, that's because they bring out everybody who's ever been involved with the team and have them trot them out on stage. And then they have to make the jerseys for the kids. And they have to go ahead and talk to the kids and do all this other shit as opposed to just finishing the damn draft.
You bring up the people who are out there twitching to read the cards and why.
The pick's been in for like 5 minutes before they even freaking announce it.
It's ridiculous. I liked it better when they leaked it all on Twitter.
Exactly.
Then they said, "Oh no, we can't do that." Well, then stop doing the shit you do.
Quit making it a spectacle and do what it's there for.
It's just horrible. It's all horrible. Everything's a freaking show.
Drew Grumpy.
I turn off all the main tweets from the NBA insiders on draft day because they love to spoil it.
What's up, Meatball Parm? Man, that looks good. Goon, Grumpy.
Should we comment about the Titanic submarine tragedy?
Titanic.
Or is that you gonna let me finish? You want me to read the comments or you want to read it?
Titanic, yeah. Go ahead.
Should we comment on the Titanic submarine tragedy, or is it too far off the mark for sports speak? I think
we could definitely comment on it, Grumpy.
Okay,
What do you
go
think?
ahead. Go ahead, TJ.
Have you been kind of aware of what's going on?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, 5 people go on this trip where they go down and get to spend 11 or 12 hours looking.
3-hour tour.
It's an 11 to 12
started getting rough. The tiny sub was tossed. If not,
we're gonna get kicked. The podcast's gonna go off the air.
Not for the courage of the fearless crew, the Titanic ship would be lost.
So this is
Titanic ship would be lost.
Grumpy just said we didn't have a time for this jovial nonsense, and he starts singing a 3-hour tour. If he gets it close enough, he wants to go ahead and get us banned across all countries again.
Grumpy starts singing sea shanties over here, as opposed to worrying about the damn podcast and talking about the shit, the submarine. Come on topic.
Yes.
Let's go.
So anyway, getting back on topic. You look at it and you think to yourself, they spend 11, 12 hours down there. When they're down there, they get to, explore the Titanic. It costs them $250,000 per person. Let that shit to sink in. $250,000 per person.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? And you got like a little hole that's like 6 inches by 6 inches.
No, you don't even have a hole. You're looking at the only way that you can see the stuff is on a freaking computer screen that's in there.
Oh,
I thought you got to see out the hole.
Nope. That's how the thing is driven. It's out of a computer screen.
Well, I'm just going to say that company's out of business. You bring down some people to see the Titanic and you become a member. It's not something where when you book that as a round trip ticket. You do. If it's one way, you're done.
So I'm going to say one thing. So the thing is controlled by literally like a PlayStation controller.
Yes.
How they drive it. They got majority of the parts from Camping World to build the thing.
Well, no, the lighting on the inside was from Camping World.
Oh, I thought it was a fiberglass hull is what they used. Or not carbon fiber.
Well, they said it imploded.
Yes, it did implode.
And then you hear people who worked on it had questions. A lot of people had questions about the safety. They want to get the government involved, right? Oh, there should be government right. No. If you're stupid enough to want to take a ride in a dinghy 2.5 miles down in the ocean, you deserve to get your damn ship crumpled up. Sorry.
The reason why. Okay.
It's like they made it out of freaking tinfoil.
The reason why they are going to do something on this is because guess what? Every single member and passenger aboard was a billionaire.
They sign waivers. They sign waivers.
Here's the thing. When you start killing billionaires, their family, who's really wealthy, likes to say, great, let's go ahead and sue your ass for additional funds.
You shouldn't have signed the waiver.
The mindset that those people have.
You shouldn't have signed the waiver that said death, because it's right on there, death. If you die, screw it.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Hey, even Drago even knew back then. He killed Apollo Creed. Didn't matter. He signed the waiver for the exhibition.
So no sympathy for the people who died.
Zero. If you're okay, let me ask you a question. If
somebody said, "I don't want people to die," Grumpy, the fuck.
You make stupid decisions. You get stupid.
Personal responsibility. Again, this should be called the Personal Responsibility Podcast today. Zion Williamson. He makes enough money. He could have taken that trip down there. Here's the thing. He's so damn big, it probably wouldn't have imploded. But just think about everybody else in that room. Right? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, what would have happened, Grumpy?
He'd be like a blowfish.
Are you saying that they wouldn't even have had to travel down there as soon as he stepped foot, it just would have sunk to the bottom?
He just gets scared, pops it back out. That's all. Put Mekhi Becton down there. I mean, probably everybody at the bends, it never would even come up anyway. Isn't it go like that like an elevator? I was just, you know what?
They said
it's so dumb.
They said it took 10 hours for it to get down there. That thing would have been down there in 15 seconds.
Absolutely. I mean,
what I'm kind of shocked. Again, like they're already talking about, hey, we're going to release a documentary. I'm like, the motherfuckers are not even dead and already talking.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Memes that they were releasing about them.
They're bad. They're really bad. Where it's like, you know, the Titanic really slapping when they're killing people 100 years later or something like that. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah. They said the ghosts of the Titanic were dancing because they're gonna have new residents coming in. They said people were saying they're filming a Little Mermaid 2 down there.
Oh, that movie bombed. That movie died down there. Yeah, what the heck? I just, like I said, for me, if you're that rich, I said to the warden, I said, I would never do that. Like another thing, you know, taking little trips into space. I ain't doing that shit either. You know what? If NASA was doing it, maybe somebody who just wants to make a buck. No. You ever seen
why were there?
You ever seen the movie Armageddon? I love when Stephen Buscemi's character says, "Do anyone feel nervous that these ships were built by the lowest builder? I mean, by the lowest price contractor." It's like, hey, they're cutting corners everywhere. This guy made a deep sea vessel made out of freaking cardboard and some aluminum foil. What do you think was going to happen?
Cardboard, aluminum foil.
All I know is you know how much I don't like deep sea. No. I won't even go on a cruise.
Well, the thing is, people were talking about security measures, and they're like, "Oh, why didn't they have anything in place in case this stuff happened, that they could get them out safely?" And it's like, you're down so far, there's nothing you could do. It's the same thing as like, oh, if in space, well, if the freaking spaceship explodes, I mean, what the hell are you going to do? There's no safety measures for that shit.
You know, it said that it took 10 hours to get down there.
No, it didn't take 10 hours. There's no way in hell.
You said it took 10 hours. I thought you said.
No. They go on a tour for 11 to 12 hours. So they're down there for almost an entire day. That's why it's like they go down there for like 11 hours. That's why it's $250,000. They get to see all these different parts, but they're down there for almost like an entire day looking at this stuff.
You know, they did a documentary on Discovery Channel. I could just watch that shit.
That's true, but some people like to see it.
Well, who's the guy?
Billionaires have more money than sense sometimes.
Yeah, who's the guy who directed Titanic? Because they said they're like, wow, this man, James Cameron, right?
Yeah.
They said James Cameron put all this work in to direct the Titanic, and these mothers still want to go down there and see it.
I mean, I know it didn't take 10 hours for the Titanic to hit the bottom of the ocean floor.
No,
Grumpy.
It was 10-hour tour.
It's a 10-hour fucking tour. They're not
10-hour tour.
Grumpy sea shanties over here.
Aluminum started crinkling. Nobody knew what to do.
Oh man,
they all died at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, screw you.
So yes, that just recently happened. The fact that they're already trying to create documentaries before the bodies are even found.
They're never finding those bodies.
No, they'll find the body. They'll find the wreckage.
Nothing's gone down that far before.
What are you talking about? The submarine's been down there.
Unless it's a robot that goes down there and picks the shit up. Nobody's gone down that far before. No human being has gone down that far before.
The tour boat, the tour submarine used to go down that far every single freaking week. What are you talking about? They just need to get another person over.
It was a robot. It was a robot.
They've had back up though.
They need to just go ahead and start getting people now. They can explore and they could see the submarine that sank too. So it's just an added part of the tour now.
Here's what I like. It was once an episode, a little cartoon called The Far Side. Have you ever heard of The Far Side comics?
No.
There was one. I was mostly talking to X, not you, TJ. I know you haven't seen anything.
Fuck.
The Far Side, where they had all these people in like a tank with sharks around. They were in cages, and one guy was in Ed's discount shark cages, and they see him, all the older ones all ripped open the bottom of the ocean. That's the same thing that happened here. You took a discount ride down there. How much you think it'd take to build that thing?
A discount ride, bro. They're spending $250,000. I wouldn't call it a discount ride.
They went to freaking. They went to the Gap.
It literally looked like a coffin.
It did. It was like. I'm like, why would you do that? And 5 people, you're crammed in there. I thought you could see out the little hole, like a 6-inch by 6 inch.
You can see out the hole.
Why the hell? Okay, if you see it on a computer screen, what the hell's the difference?
You can see out the whole X.
They literally drive it with a computer screen. I saw a video on it. They
drive it with a computer screen, but they could see out the hole. Everybody can see out the hole. They have a little button they can push if something goes crazy or something. Like that.
Well, maybe somebody hit the wrong. Don't hit that tiny red button. Don't hit the button
that they hit.
They hit the button. That's the crunch button.
No, fuck. Jesus Christ. Okay, Grumpy. Next comment. Let's get back on some sports.
In the NBA, once you put your name in the NBA draft, you can't go back to college. That is not true. You can pull your name out.
True.
I think with 2 weeks to go or something like that, you can pull your name out and say you're not it. Drew Timmy, that's his name.
Yeah, Drew Timmy.
Could do a lot of good things except shooting the damn ball. I disagree.
I think he's a good shot.
He's around the basket. He's not a bad player. Gungu says, TJ is a goof. Can you please use the headband as a blindfold for 5 minutes or so?
Okay.
All right, Stevie Wonder. Dana White said Zuckerberg and Musk are both serious about fighting each other in UFC. I'd make a pay-per-view $100 and donate all to charity.
That would actually be a fun fight to watch.
Who do you think could win?
Elon Musk.
Absolutely. No shot Zuckerberg's winning.
I think he's a reptile.
Yeah, I was going to say he might use his lizard tactics against them.
Get the shit kicked out of him is what would happen.
Depending on how sunny the day is and if it's going to be held indoor or outdoors, that's going to have a lot to do whether Zuck does it right or not.
Let me ask you a question. Are you allowed to do ball kicks in UFC?
No.
Why not?
Fuck.
I thought it was anything goes.
It's not that. You can't kick somebody in the nuts.
Speaking of UFC, did you happen to see Dana White was talking to the Nelk boys?
Oh,
you know who the Nelk?
Yes, the full send guys. Yeah,
Grumpy, you don't know who the Nelk boys are.
I can just tune out here.
Half pay attention, okay? Because it's going to tie back in. He was talking to the Nelk boys. The Nelk boys had reached out to the NHL and wanted to be involved with the draft or in some capacity involved with the NHL. The NHL said they wanted nothing to do with the Nelk boys. And Dana White said, F that, I'll snatch these guys up and we'll do UFC shit and promotions. And you're starting to see the viewership increase significantly for those type of videos that they're featured in. The NHL is getting little tiny pittance of the amount of viewers. And I'm like, it's just the NHL on a consistent basis finding ways to hurt the brand and not progress the brand. They just do it on a consistent basis. You want to get young kids involved. That's what you do. You bring in people who are very popular, who are young, that can have a reach to expose more people to your sport. But they didn't take the chance and opportunity to do that.
And the thing is, they're Canadian and they love hockey.
Really? I didn't know they were Canadian.
They're Canadian, yeah.
What are Nelk boys?
They're like people who do pranks and they do like a whole
bunch. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Pretend like you're a professional organization. The last thing you need is morons like that. No.
That's the UFC who's making a shit ton of money off of them.
You know, maybe that's what they telling you. Who knows what they're making? They're just a couple of goofs.
You can see the view. You can see you could see the eyes, the viewership. It was like 90 million on a video. They were talking
ridiculous.
about it.
It's all made up.
Views and looks and clicks are all made up.
All robots watching them.
Ah, okay.
That's it.
Next comment.
Derek Monroe, Grumpy.
Let's not forget how good the Pelicans were before Zion's injury. They suck. They were second in the West behind Denver. But he's hurt all the time, Derek.
I like him. I like Zion, baby. Zion power.
Drew says, oh, by the way, Draymond Green is ecstatic Jordan Poole got traded for CP3 today, and Jordan Poole unfollowed Draymond on all social media.
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, there you go.
Watch out. Yep. TJ, can I
show what Grady Dick was wearing?
He looked like a fool. Matter of fact, all of the players look like fools. Not every single one of them. They all got the hats, and they make them so big because they don't want them to screw up their hair. It's like they got those jumbo hats on. It's like, dude, they're embarrassing. Honestly, it's hard to watch them. It really is. Drew
Hold
says,
on a second. Who the hell is Grady Dick?
He's the guy from Kansas. He was wearing an all red suit, and he said, something about Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz had red shoes. I got a red suit or something like that.
He's a moron. You know what he doesn't have? He's like the scarecrow. He's like the scarecrow. He doesn't have a brain. That's his problem. He wants to bring up a reference to The Wizard of Oz. He doesn't have a brain.
What the fuck? Look at this
He's
shit.
a fool. Somebody ought to hit that kid in the head with a hammer. Matter of fact, put all of them up. I want to see all of them. Let's do a fashion runway show of all these guys.
God, no,
Just
you're not
pop
gonna
them
like
up,
it.
And I'll say thumbs up or thumbs down.
Now,
I'm gonna go ahead real quickly. I think a lot of them are gonna have thumbs down, Grumpy.
Let's do
Grumpy,
it.
what
This guy's a fool.
What are you gonna say?
What kind of hammer should they hit them with? A regular hammer or a sledgehammer?
Not a sledgehammer, just like like a regular hammer, like the nail and nail, something that you can really swing hard and fast.
Now the actual like head part or the part you pull the nails up with?
Oh, the part that you hit the guy in the head with.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to see what these guys look like.
Here you
This
go.
guy's
This is
okay.
nice one.
This
Line
guy's
up.
okay. This
I
guy's
like this
okay.
actually. I
That's
like.
why-
Oh, he's
I don't
got
know.
he's got some Gengar shoes or something.
Gengar shoes. Yeah, those are actually sick.
I never understand wearing sneakers with a suit. It's just.
I would
stupid.
like
But
him to wear, if he's going to wear a button to the top, I'd like him to wear a tie. But you know
here's
what?
the thing.
Not a bad dress.
Acceptable.
I like this.
Next,
Yeah.
who's
The
next?
suit fits really well on him. Like
It should. He's going to make like $10-15 million next year. It should fit.
hold on a second.
Let's see the guy from the Charlotte Hornets. Is he wearing like stripes? What's he wearing?
Hold on a second, damn. I'm just going to search NBA draft. We're going to see enough of them. Shit. Okay. Man, I wish I could just go ahead and attire. No, it's not easy. Unfortunately, it's not. Can we take a second to talk about the way Adam Silver looks?
He looks like an alien.
Yes.
He looks a little bit like Nosferatu, doesn't he?
Yes.
Ooh, wow, the original.
That's what I'm saying. He does. Put fangs on him. Jesus, look how tall this Wembanyama motherfucker is. Look how tall he is. Holy shit.
He rode. So he was in New York and he threw out the first pitch of the Yankees game, and he went on the subway. He literally had to go with his head bent down the entire time because he was too tall to fit.
He's a big kid.
He also needs to learn that when you're walking, you don't have the suit buttoned or anything like that, unless you're about to sit down. I guess you can. It just looks odd on him.
Can you go back a little bit? Is he wearing socks? Because a lot of these guys aren't wearing socks.
I don't know, Grumpy. His pant legs are so long.
And no, it looks like he's wearing socks.
Yeah, his looks fine.
Yeah, his is fine.
I think
I
he
like
is
the way
just
the girl
too tall.
is dressed nice too.
This son of a bitch needs to eat. I almost feel bad looking at him. I almost want to, eat some damn food.
Well, guess what? Will he be a professional and decide to put some weight on
Probably
during the off season, or do you think he's just going to sit there and be like, no, I don't want to put any weight on?
This next person we've got here, Jalen Hood Shafino. He was originally committed to University of Pittsburgh, then decommitted and went.
He looks like a goof.
Oh, come on!
Look how he's wearing the hat. Oh, look at this guy.
Okay,
Who's Mr. Purple.
No, he's got no freaking shirt on underneath his jacket.
Jeremy Shope. He's looking kind of small.
No, this guy's got a shirt on.
No, the guy in the white. He's got no shirt on. The guy in the white has no shirt on.
He has no shirt on, just a suit.
Is that Megan Rapinoe? That looks like Megan Rapinoe.
No,
purple
that
hair.
means he's wearing a shirt underneath his suit jacket.
Okay, here we go. Perfect. This is what I was looking for.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know who
Number
these
one.
guys are yet.
Number one is
Cheetah.
good.
What the hell is up with the cheetah, man?
No, I mean, they got him just out of the wilds of Africa. Got him right wherever he was chasing something earlier in the day.
Okay.
Okay. Yes on number one. Number two looks fine. I
Number
can't
two,
tell if he's not wearing a shirt. If he's not wearing a shirt, then it's a no. If he's
number
wearing
three,
a shirt,
sharp. Number three is
yeah,
sharp.
number three looks good. I can't tell the guy behind. I'm not a fan of the cheetah print suit. No.
Yeah, not a fan of cheetah.
The guy in the back of the brown or gold.
I like this.
He looks good. So
Yeah,
does the
he's
guy on the
fine.
left, he looks good. The guy in the purple also looks good as well. Shirt.
Mr. Green
That
Jeans,
guy.
no good for Mr. Green Jeans. Anything that's like that shiny color, no. I don't like
not a fan of the reflective stuff.
No, the other guy, the last guy looks like a freaking matador, honestly. So no, unless I'm killing a bull, I don't want
The
him.
guy in the white in the back looks fine.
No, it's like a cream color. I don't like that.
It looks fine. I think it's fine.
I don't like the color. Okay, let's stop here. The big tall guy, he looks fine. The guy in the purple in the
pinstripes, yes.
I like
he's okay.
Good.
He's okay.
This is the worst dress. This kid is the worst fucking dressed out of all of them. This red nonsense.
Awful.
Ugh. Awful is right.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's the worst dressed. I don't even think it's
okay.
close.
No, stop. Okay, the guy center, no. Mr. Red Pants, he's got the shiny red pants, the red shirt. I don't know what the heck's going on with that jacket. That's a big no for me. And I'm not a fan of the cream colored suits. Anybody who wears them, I'm like, no, we're not selling ice cream here. No. Hippie,
You happy?
get a haircut.
You content?
I mean, I think they looked fine. The only ones, just the red one wasn't a fan of. The shiny green one I didn't really like. Everybody else looked fine though, in my opinion.
Some of them looked okay. Some of them looked okay. Some looked like jerks. Derek Monroe said,
reading comments, Grumpy.
Derek Monroe says Anthony Davis making the well. I have to read the comments. We want to get the show over before 12. Derek Monroe says Anthony Davis making the 2012 USA Redeem team as a freshman started the one and done era, ruined basketball in a way, in my opinion. It's not him. It's the fact that the NBA changed the rules to let guys come in after 1 year. They should say, if you don't want to come in to play college, you sit out for 2 years. You got to wait 2 years. The NFL is 3 years. But if you wait 2 years, it lets everybody develop a little bit. That's what they should do. They won't do it, though.
I don't care how they do it, to be quite frank.
I'd like to know some of the players who were drafted.
I will say, like, for college sports now, it's all a shit show. It is, because even if they stick around in college for more than a year, the likelihood that they're going to transfer because of an NIL deal, especially in basketball, is very high. So you don't get, like, as a fan, I like college athletics. As a fan of college athletics, name, image, and likeness has obviously, you've got less consistency with your roster. You don't get to know and have the same connection with the players that you used to have. But the kids get to get paid. So,
here's the thing. Without the NIL, there is no college basketball because all those kids go to play overseas for a year and then go to the pros.
Or they go to the G League. Sure.
Yeah. Well, G League technically is still getting drafted.
Yeah, well, you can get drafted overseas too.
But that's what I'm saying is they can't play. I don't think they can technically play in the G League until they've played a year overseas.
No. You can play in the G League. You can elect to go to the G League, overseas, college, anywhere you want to play, you can play.
I thought the G League is still tied in with the NBA.
It is, but you can play as an 18-year-old in the G League who is eligible to go to college, but you can elect to play right to the G League.
So if you play in the G League, wouldn't you be on that team's like technical farm?
You're getting paid by that team, but you're not. Your rights are not owned by that team, if that makes sense.
It's very weird.
It doesn't make sense. I don't care. What's this?
Okay, Nick sent this to us, Grumpy.
The Calgary Flames are in severe trouble. It has been confirmed today that Noah Hannafin, Michael Backlund, and Elias Lindholm don't want to re-sign long-term with Calgary and will likely leave next offseason. But what's even worse now is Tyler Toffoli has now said that he's leaning on not signing with Calgary and leaving next offseason as well. Good luck, Craig Conroy. This continues the recurring theme of players not wanting to re-sign long-term with the Calgary Flames, having it be Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau last season, and now it's going to be 4 more players heading into next offseason. It likely means that we could be seeing some more trades happen this offseason with Calgary. In fact, just now it has been announced that Tyler Toffoli has now been made available for trade, so there's going to be some moves going on with the Flames. But no matter who they get, even if they do get someone that's really big and pretty good, what if they don't want to re-sign with Calgary? It's just going to keep on continuing this recurring theme. But my question to y'all is, why don't these players want to re-sign? The Calgary Flames.
I think Calgary I think it's not a city that people love to live in. Perhaps that's the rumor why Tkachuk wanted to leave. You look at the specific places he wanted to go. Here's the other thing too. I'm sure Nick wants us to speculate. Hey, maybe the Islanders might get somebody from Calgary. We're not doing anything this offseason.
Nope, nothing. Can't afford anybody.
Yep. I'll look at the memes here in a second, Grumpy. Drew L.
Nah, I like Zion, but he's the one at fault, but I know why. His end-all, be-all was to be in New York with R.J. Barrett, and that dream got crushed when New Orleans got the first pick. Grow up, kid. That's all I got to say.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I'll put this up. I have to – God almighty, Drew, you sent a few here. I've got to get something else posted here first. So I'll talk about this. The NHL removing any sort of like pride jerseys. Elliot Freeman was interviewing Gary Bettman today, and I'll let you listen into it to his response here. Now, here's the thing. Anytime you comment on like the current political, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you watch and we'll talk about it.
Commissioner, first of all, I understand there was a decision made on the pride jerseys in warm-up today at Board of Governors.
Well, actually, I've suggested that it would be appropriate for clubs not to change their jerseys in warm-ups because it's become a distraction and taking away from the fact that all of our clubs in some form or another host nights in honor of various groups or causes, and we'd rather that we continue to get the appropriate attention that they deserve and not be a distraction.
Commissioner, first of all,
and not be a distraction is how he ends that statement.
Yeah.
The reason this is being put up is because the players, some players don't want to wear the pride jerseys. They won't take participation in the pregame warm-ups if they have to, and it gets press, and not in a good light for the NHL. So the NHL said the only way for us to avoid that that bad press is by taking the option away. So there's no more bad related press stories about players who don't want to wear it, and that continues to grow and grow. So if we try to avoid the entire conversation, that benefits them is what they think in the negative press. It avoids the negative press.
Yep.
Any comments on that, X?
No, I agree with Tita 100%. I think they're getting negative press on it, and they figure, if we remove it altogether and it gets no press, then no press is good press.
No press is better than bad press.
And bad press, yeah.
What you're starting to see is you're seeing, and in all sports, you're seeing people are fighting back on this narrative that's been pushed the last couple of years. The players, when you don't have the buy-in of the players, I don't give a shit what they do. But the biggest thing is they're not selling any of those pride jerseys.
Okay.
That's why it always comes down to money. Okay. You might not think so, but they put a lot of money into developing those jerseys for team, but people weren't buying them.
Okay. Has nothing to do with why they're not allowing them to wear beforehand. I think it does. Okay. You don't think a single jersey was bought?
I'm going to bet that I'm going to bet it wasn't worth the time and effort. They weren't making money on those jerseys.
Make to order, Grump.
Grumpy,
nobody makes a made-to-order jersey.
It's a joke. Calm down. I was joking around. Jesus.
Jeez.
Okay. Grumpy Grump's just not understanding. That's fine. Domingo German has given up 17 runs, 15 that have been earned runs over the last 5.1 innings in his last 2 starts for the Yankees.
That's underwhelming, I would say.
How much trouble do you think he's in?
A lot.
But next start, he'll probably throw a complete game shutout.
You think
he's been up and down all year.
Yeah, it seems like whenever he's using – I'm a Yankees fan, but it seems like whenever he's using substances, he can do the job. But if he's not, then he struggles and gets shelled.
That's what I was about to ask you. You think this has a lot to do with the substances that he's using? When he uses substances, he plays well. I mean, when he's able to get away with it, and when he does it, he struggles significantly. Do you think it's completely the substance?
For me, I just think that he's an up and down player. He always has been. And maybe those things help him without a doubt. But you know what? It's been a while since he's been popped for that. And he threw great even after that suspension. So I don't know. I just don't think he's that consistent a pitcher. Some days he's great. Some days he's not. The last 2 games have been really bad. He gave up 10 runs in 1 inning today. 10 in 1 inning.
That's pretty good.
I mean, what was Aaron Boone doing? At some point, doesn't Aaron Boone have to 10 run? Mercy rule.
Freaking pitcher? I mean, like
10 runs? 10 runs? 10 runs? You leave him out there to give out 10 runs?
Not good. Not good.
No.
Let's look at the rest of these here that Drew had sent us here, because I think we've got a few items that he covers too that we wanted to make sure we could talk about first. Oh, wow. Slam Ball is coming to television and ESPN next month. Holy shit. This may be actually pretty badass.
I've seen it before.
Grumpy, in case you're not aware what Slam Ball is.
Ugh,
like you
I'm not watching this.
Why not, Grump? This could be fun.
Basketball on trampolines? Stop.
You don't like it, Grumpy?
No.
Why not?
No. Okay, you want something? I will not be watching that.
Grumpy's not going to watch it at the house, but he's getting front row seats to the next game.
Look at the size of the crowds. What are they holding?
This is from years ago, Grumpy. This is
like they're
from
not
years
even
ago.
holding them in gymnasiums. It's like they're holding them out in parking lots.
Here's the thing. It doesn't have a huge following. Nobody's saying it does. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. What I am saying, I think it would be fun to watch. I'm glad they're trying to bring this back, and they're bringing this back. This was done years ago. This was taken. This picture was taken years ago, Grump.
Okay.
What? You just said okay, and that was it. Nothing else to.
I already told you. I won't be watching that shit. That much I can
that's right.
guarantee.
Grumpy's going to be watching that Women's World Cup ad on repeat. That's what he's going to do.
Okay, my honest reaction when Orlando fumbled the chances of taking Suggs, Black, and Dick in the trio for
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
Drew's a little upset.
He's unhappy.
Hardcore Democrats after the NHL removed pride jerseys.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left.
Yeah, let's see. Oh God,
Absolutely not. That is that's
here's the thing. It's going to upset certain fans.
You know what? It's not going to bother any fans. It's not going to
Really?
bother any fans. Not one.
Let me ask you this, Grumpy. If they said we're only wearing pride jerseys out there, would that bother some fans? The
What are
answer
you
is
gonna do?
yes.
Here's the
because
thing, you know
it's-
what?
Hold
You
on.
might as well put the women's
Stop and
team
listen.
out there.
Hold on. Stop and listen. The answer is yes. That would bother some fans if you said we're only wearing pride jerseys, and if you said we're never wearing pride jerseys, it's going to bother. Hey, no matter what, it's a political fucking issue, and the NHL delved in, and people.
That's why you don't do that shit. Just wear your regular jerseys. You don't need to make some fancy rainbow jersey out there. You know,
So
the
the
only
answer-
rainbows I
so
want to
the
see
answer-
is the kind after a damn thunderstorm.
I think one fan in particular would be bothered if they wore the pride jerseys every night.
Grumpy.
And you know what? You know what would happen? You'd see people saying, "Screw it, we're not watching your product. We're not going. We're going to picket your stadium." That's what you're seeing happen now. People are just fed up with this bullshit, this agenda bullshit, this social justice bullshit that's being rammed down people's throat. They're sick and tired of
can
it.
you do me a favor and keep on fucking topic, please?
How's
Please,
Budweiser? How's Budweiser
can
doing?
you please do me a
Bud
favor.
Light.
Put
Grumpy?
some freaking tranny on a can. You sink your business. How stupid is that?
Grumpy, can you do me a favor and please keep on fucking topic, please? Please do me
You're
a
the
favor.
one who's
Can
bringing
you-
it up.
Can you do me a favor and talk about sports, please?
Why do you
We
keep
don't
on
talk
bringing
about-
these things up then?
We're not.
You just said about the pride jerseys. You just said that, not me.
I said
I
the
didn't bring it
NHL is
up.
removing them. That's
All
all
the
I
things
said.
I sent you today were all about sports.
You send shit stuff.
Oh, there we
Something's
go.
bad.
Let's see what I sent today. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Let's see what I sent.
Anyway, X, read comments because Grumpy, I guess, is useless.
Didn't
He's
Rick
fucking
Williams have a performance-based contract? Did he? I don't know. He might have. Now I know he
think
was
so.
somebody who struggled with smoking.
Keep up.
Honestly, he would have been better player nowadays than he would have been back then because I think the NFL, if I'm correct, legalized. I thought they did.
Maybe.
I thought they legalized it.
Why is TJ eating ramen from a bag? I'm eating green
that
beans.
ramen?
No, it's
Oh,
green beans.
Oh, okay. Ugh,
Um,
still.
Why do you have to eat during the show?
Are you not trying to look up what you sent me, or are you? Too
I got. You want me to run them down?
Why don't you? Yeah. Why don't you list off some of the shitty?
Okay, here's the
suggestions
thing.
I
I'm
got?
upset. You haven't put my thing about the 3-year-old coming out to the John Cena intro at all.
Oh God! Oh fucking mighty!
There you go, X.
Party.
The tyrant will not play what he doesn't want.
Send it to me
I sent it to you
personally.
in
Send it to my personal Instagram if you want me to show that. Okay.
Jesus.
You text it to me, it doesn't come. It's not coming. Okay.
It was in the queue with me and you and Dad and Grump.
Gareth Bale sends Lionel Messi a soothing message about the easy MLS competition. He says, the people in America really don't care if they win or lose. Doesn't matter. They celebrate. They win a game. They celebrate like they won a championship.
So
participation trophies. MLS equals participation trophies.
Okay, cool. So we want to talk about what Gareth Bale told Lionel Messi, how he's getting perceived and getting ready to go to the MLS. What a great story. What a great story that is.
What does it say about American society?
No, it's not. It's the MLS in general. It's not American society. The MLS blows. It's not the It's not the Family League. It's not the NFL, Grumpy. The NFL doesn't celebrate every time like you won a damn championship after you win a game because it's the most competitive. It's the most competitive. No, they don't. It's the most competitive sports league for football in the entire world. When you're in a competitive league, you don't celebrate a victory like that. When you're in a friends and family league like the MLS, you do.
I'm just telling the observations from a professional soccer player to another soccer player. It just doesn't mean as much. At Real Madrid, you lose a game, it's like the end of the world. That's the way it was with the Patriots. Maybe it's just good teams, maybe.
It probably is good.
Competitive leagues. Welcome to competitive sports. The more competitive the sport is, the less excited you get just to win a game. So thank you very much for bringing that one up. What else did you send me today, Grumpy?
I have numerous things where I just find it.
No. List them. List them what we're talking about that you think is important for us to talk about today.
The guy from LSU.
Guess what? That's on the docket. We're talking about that today. If Grumpy wasn't singing about sea shanties and talking about political agendas, we would be on to LSU already, but he can't fucking keep on topic.
Are you going to let me tell the other things here?
Sure.
Or you're not interested?
Sure. To eat some more ramen.
I thought that Rob Manfred regretting his decision about giving all the Astros players immunity for the cheating scandal, where they all got off scot-free. The GM and the manager were the ones who suffered the price. They got suspended, lost their jobs, but the players got off easy. Now, 2 years later, that was not my best decision. I mean, wasn't that what everybody was saying initially? Why did he do it? Because none of the players were going to say anything, and the report would have went nowhere. So instead, he just said, "Don't do that again, boys," and he just popped those two guys.
The reason why he regrets it now is because it's publicly perceived like such shit. If people publicly perceived it well, you wouldn't give a fuck. Like, oh, great, that was a great decision I made. But because it has terrible perception, he then says, oh, I could have done better there, because people fucking hate him for that. And he did such a bad job handling that cheating scandal, and he took such a soft stance on it that people just hate him for that. So of course he's going to say that.
And then another topic, the West Virginia coach with the DUI.
Bob Huggins. Yeah. Kind of feel bad about that.
I have respect for what he did though. After that happened.
Step down. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I need to take time away and I need to focus on myself. Like that was really irresponsible of me.
It's just coach speak.
Well, I'm just saying
that's just coach speak. And I like Bob Huggins. I like his interviews. He's pretty much a straight shooter. But he did that. He made some comments that were politically uncouth for the environment now that he got a little bit under hot water for at West Virginia about certain nights that they celebrated. He didn't support, and he went on a podcast or a radio show, and they received backlash for that. And then he got caught with a DUI. I could have told you as soon as that happened, he was not going to be the coach next season. He could have won 10 national championships in a row. You do two things that almost lose you your job in an offseason, you're losing your job.
I'm just saying, though, the fact that he didn't make excuses for it like a majority of people would have done.
How can you make excuses for being stupid enough to get behind the vehicle and drive under the influence when you could get a ride share, Uber? We talk about the same exact thing for
there's plenty of people who make excuses, or people who get excuses made for them who have done that shit in the past. Multiple people.
I didn't see Henry Ruggs saying anything like that.
Well, Henry Ruggs killed people, so I mean, he was not getting away with
Even if he just said, like, for example, Jordan Davis shouldn't make excuses for driving and drag racing, getting people take ownership for the issue. Take ownership.
Right? Yeah, you hear people make excuses. Oh, he's a good kid. You should give him another chance. All this shit. I mean, that's my point. That's what I mean by making excuses. He came out and was like, no, it was really irresponsible what I did. That's the point I'm making.
He should know better. That's all I'm going to say. At the age of 50 something,
Yeah, he should know better.
Years old, he should know better not to get behind the vehicle.
Right. You're right. He should.
I like Bob Huggins as a coach. I liked him as a person, but you can't do dumb shit like that.
I agree. I'm just saying that for what he said after he did it, I mean, he owned up to it and took responsibility of what he did. That's all I'm saying.
When he spoke afterwards, and I like Bob Huggins, it just sounded like a whole bunch of coach speak. It did. Oh, I've got to take, just like Urban Meyer, I got to take some time away and focus on my fam. All coaches, when they leave, when it's like, hey, get the hell out of here. Bob Huggins has been that coach there for years, decades. So they weren't going to kick him out on his ass. So he's like, you're gonna leave the program. And the only way you can do so is saying, I need to reevaluate, need to spend time with my family. They say the same shit all the time. Did he actually mean it? Maybe, but all the coaches say the same shit, so it's just coach speak, in my opinion.
Grumpy, any thoughts?
No. It's like Jack Jones was arrested over the weekend from the New England Patriots for carrying 2 loaded guns onto a plane. And his lawyer said it's because of institutional racism. That's why they singled him out. Now he had, these things go through the scanner and they were loaded in a box with his name on it. So you couldn't say there was somebody else's, but she's trying to blame somebody else. Now that was a dumb move, but she's trying to play the race card, right? And saying social media is portraying him as a thug. And they actually questioned her though, when she said that, which, the media would never usually question, but they questioned her. He's like, but they had his name on the box with these guns. Doesn't that make him guilty of that? Well, what?
It seems like every single topic. Do you have like some pent up aggression towards the political environment? Because everything we're talking about.
I'm just saying the same. You said about making excuses. They're trying to make excuses for a guy taking loaded weapons onto an airplane. No one's allowed to take loaded, unless you're a U.S. Marshal. No one's allowed to take loaded weapons onto an airplane. How dumb can you be? Dumb. But you just mentioned about making excuses.
No, X did, yeah. But another non-story that you want to talk about, that's fine.
But here's another story I had. Dickie V is having more surgery on his vocal cords. He's had dysplasia and ulcerated lesions on his vocal cords. What? Just because you don't like it, don't. You know what? How about it? Just turn your camera off instead of you reacting the way you
Sure.
react.
Talk about Dickie V. And talk about his surgery he's got coming up. Let's make a segment out of that. Take it, buddy. Go ahead, take it and talk about that for 10, 15 minutes.
We don't have to worry about 10, 15. TJ, just because it's something you don't want to talk about doesn't make it a valid topic.
Hold on. It's not, this is not like a news report.
King George III.
This is not a news report show. If you want to get the news report, tune into the ticker at the bottom of ESPN. You have to be able to have conversation on these topics. What do you want to talk about with Dickie V?
I just hope
if you want to talk about the impact he made and stuff like that, that's fine. Go with it.
I just hope that Dickie V gets better. That's all.
Do you feel that he should, because I think he does announcing for maybe 1 or 2 games a year now. It's not much. Do you think that this will probably be the end for him for doing announcing?
I think his announcing career is just about over.
It's pretty much over, I was about to say.
I think so as well, but I'm just saying I think the 1 or 2 games that he does now, I'm not sure if he's going to continue to do.
And I believe he's 84 years old.
Oh, yeah, he's up there in age. I'm just saying, I think that this might be the end of him.
Yeah.
Announcing.
Yeah.
I mean, I pray for him. I hope he makes it through the surgery. I'm just saying it might be the end of his announcing career.
Yeah. And we hope not. I like Dickie V. I think he's great for the sport of basketball. Anybody who doesn't like Dickie V, there's something wrong with them. All he is an ambassador for the game. He's excited. I've always liked Dickie V. I never like people who rip Dickie V. And there's one other topic I want to talk about. The Tampa Bay Rays have benched shortstop Wander Franco for at least 2 games because he's not handling adversity well.
No, that's not what they said. But I have that also. I had that to talk about today. He's not that he's not handling adversity well. He's not handling
struggles.
Yes, he's not handling his frustrations well. I mean, sure, you can say adversity, but he's not handling his frustrations well, is the exact quote from them. They said the Rays lineup due to the way that he handles his frustration and not being a better teammate. Whatever the fuck that means.
What's the frustration? Yeah, I was about to say, what does the frustration mean? Is that him having poor at bats, performing poor in the field? Because then, if that's the case, that's AKA adversity.
I'm saying he's not doing what he's supposed to in the locker room. I think I read more into this as he's not doing what he should to be a better teammate in the locker room. Why the hell else would you say to be a better teammate? Something else more serious, I think, has happened behind closed doors.
How bad does it have to be
that he gets benched
for him to get benched? Think about it.
He's a superstar in the league.
He is the marquee guy on that team. Tampa Bay is a team where they got 3 guys who start all the time, and everybody else is like they split time. Everybody. Yeah. And he's one of those guys who plays every single day. That's a bad look for him.
I think they're also trying to prove a point because you're going to be cemented into a postseason spot. He's young. You need to take ownership and to make sure if he's making these problems and issues that he shouldn't be as a young professional, that he gets taught a lesson in what it is to be a true professional. The Rays are taking ownership of the players that belong to their franchise and trying to instill the values that they think that will help them be a better player and more valuable asset to the franchise. Just like, guess what? The Pelicans should be doing with Zion Williamson if they had fears that he's not doing what he's supposed to be a legitimate teammate and to be a contributor because he's not taking care of himself. They're doing what they should do with that. The Rays are, just like the Pelicans should do with Zion Williamson if they're worried.
Here's the thing, though.
He decides to sit out.
Wander Franco doesn't make anywhere near the money that Zion Williamson does. Not even close.
How much money does Wander Franco make in endorsements?
I have no idea.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say quite a hefty.
How much money does Zion Williamson make isn't on endorsements?
More than Wander Franco.
He's the face of Mountain Dew. We know that. He's been killing him on the sofa.
Oh, wow.
He's the face of that.
No, he wasn't a Mountain Dew ad. I mean,
Zion Williams the face of the franchise. Zion Williams the face of the franchise.
This is one shoe line.
I mean,
signature shoe through Nike, I think.
He makes way more money. It's way tougher to bench a guy. And here's the thing. He has all the power in that organization. All of it. All of it with the Pelicans. Every single bit of it. He's the guy in control there. The number 1 draft pick, makes the most amount of money on the team. He's the guy they've been pushing to the moon. And he just, like I said, he's not professional. At some point in time, you got to take it upon yourself as personal responsibility. Maybe, yeah, okay, they're doing this with Wander Franco. If Wander Franco was Shohei Ohtani
would never do something like that.
I understand that. But let's say he's Shohei Ohtani, that someone of that caliber. You think they're going to bench him for a couple of games? Absolutely not. The big players get away with anything they want.
Wander Franco is a big player.
He's not that big a player yet.
Oh, here we go. Derek just posted in the chat. He said Zion Williamson makes $39 million a year. Wander Franco makes $16.5 million.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about what they get because Wander Franco was on the cover, I think, or one of those athletes that are on the cover there for the baseball game. I don't know. He
was never on the cover of an MLB game. I don't think.
Really?
This is his first full year in the league. No, he's been hurt every other year.
Hold on. Last year he played in the league, but he got injured. But I think he was on the cover. I don't know. I thought he was
Shohei Ohtani was on the cover for last year's game at MLB The Show. This year's game, it's the guy from the Marlins, and then the year before
Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah, the year before that, it was maybe Ronald Acuna. Oh no, Tatis. Tatis was on the cover.
Okay,
year before that.
I'm just gonna say, Wander Franco, I'm sure with his production has quite an extensive amount of endorsements. Zion Williamson never on the court. Probably doesn't have as many endorsements, I'd say, as Wander Franco. But maybe I'm wrong.
And I want to give kudos to Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yep. He bounced back.
You know what? He didn't play the victim. He went about his business. They were chanting steroids at him all the time. He just goes out there and does his job on the field, and he never addresses it. And you know what he's done? You haven't seen him cry about it or anything like that. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and do my job. All that shit's gone away. That's how you do it. He didn't play the victim. He's like, I made a mistake. Let's move on. Good for him. Mad kudos for him.
Okay. Man, I'm looking at how much we have still left to cover.
Juan Soto's heating up too, by the way.
Yeah, was he hitting 250 now?
He's hitting it. He's lighting it up.
Sure. Let's talk a little about the Saudis. The Qatari Investment Authority coming in to buy into a minority stake in the Monumental Sports portfolio. So they're going to be partial owners or minority owners here for the Washington Wizards, the Washington Capitals, and the Washington Mystics. The first time that a Saudi investment fund or Qatari investment authority has started to buy into U.S. sports teams. As of recent, to set the picture, you've had these Qatari investment authorities, you've had Saudi money start buying teams in soccer in Europe, the Premier League and the PSG, and now you're starting to see it enter U.S. sports. What are your
Manchester
expectations
City,
for that? Yeah,
Manchester City,
Manchester City, Newcastle,
Manchester United.
No, Manchester United's
Glazers
not
still own Man U
by Glazers. Yeah, so you're talking about Newcastle, but yes, you're having teams that are purchased right now by Saudi-backed money and Qatari money and oil money like that. And this is the first kind of stake that they're kind of joining into the U.S. sports. Do you think it will catch? I think in European football or for soccer, I think you're going to see it continue to catch on and on. I wonder if that's also going to be the same now with the U.S. side. You're going to see more and more of that oil money continue to take a hold of professional sports in the United States.
I don't.
Well, can I just say one thing? 2 weeks ago, the PGA Tour did like a kind of a merger with the LIV Tour, and they took money from LIV, the PGA Tour did, because I guess they've been losing money after they wouldn't let the good players who went to the LIV Tour play in the PGA tournament. So they've been losing money. So they took LIV money. And the American Justice Department was doing an investigation on that. I wonder if they're going to do an investigation on these Washington, D.C. sports teams taking money from Saudi investment groups. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see if it's, well, okay, it's okay for this, but not okay for this. I don't know why they should be sticking their nose in there, to be honest with you, unless they think there's some type of money laundering thing going on. I don't know. But if you're going to be investigating for one thing, I think you should investigate for all things, or don't investigate anything.
The question I asked, do we think that X was answering that? I want to get your opinion on it because I think that's important.
I don't think that they're going to. I don't think that any of these guys and girls who own sports teams in the United States want to give up those teams. They make them too much money.
Okay. I totally disagree. If somebody gives you a check for $10 billion
and your value of your team, let's say, is $3 billion, you're going to say yes, please.
My thing is, though, why do a majority of these people who already have billions of dollars want to buy sports teams?
Because the long-term appreciation of a sports team is ridiculous. Like Michael Jordan bought the Hornets for $300 million. It's valued at what, $6 billion after like 15 years of owning the team.
I don't think it was.
I think it also has to do with them enjoying sports and liking sports is why they want to own a sports franchise.
I think they're trying to clean the image as well. Yeah, Michael Jordan bought the Charlotte Hornets for $275 million in 2010, and now it's $3 billion. So in 13 years, he more than 10 times his investment.
And they were a shitty team.
Yes, they're a bad team, is right. So, you talk about like how quickly that can from 300 million essentially to 3 billion. Not bad over
That's
a
a pretty good investment. Pretty good investment.
I must say. So you're wondering why they do it? More money. More money. Because guess what? The people in Saudi oil are not stupid to say, oh, gotcha. They're trying to phase us out with more and more electric and everything like that. So how can we make sure that we're still making hand over fist? We're going to buy a whole bunch of sports teams.
I think
sports
eventually
teams continue to get more and more consumption. People love sports, always.
I think eventually what you're going to see in the world of European soccer, you're going to see some type of salary cap system. They already kind of have it in La Liga, which is the Spanish league. But I think when you're seeing the economic advantage that certain teams have because they have unlimited resources from the Saudi state, it makes an unfair playing field. And I think eventually you'll see that. It'll have to be different leadership in UEFA because right now the guy who's in charge of the president is in bed with the guy from PSG. So I think that will have to change. And eventually it will, because teams are going to say, you know what? It's just not right anymore. They can just spend anything they want because there's no such thing as financial fair play. It's a joke. Excuse me. It's a joke.
What? Oh, you're kind of coming in and out.
He was hiccuping.
God damn you, hiccuping, Grump.
Why don't you just go eat? Why don't you go eat another bucket of grain while you're sitting over there, right?
Maybe I'll hiccup every other fucking word. Okay.
How dare you, Grump? How dare you breathe?
I mean, you see the reaction. You see the reaction. He's over there. He's over there, got his snout in a bucket of grain, just like.
You know what I noticed since CJ put that headband on, his temperament and his
very
tone has changed. I think if he takes it off, you're going to see his head's going to look like a mushroom, and it's because he's losing circulation to his brain.
Oh, well, lucky is not much to pump blood up there too, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Keep on hiccuping. Keep on fighting to breathe, Grumpy. That's what that hiccup is. You're fighting to breathe.
You realize that's not what a hiccup is, right?
That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like to me. It pisses me off every time I hear it.
What a moron.
Yeah. But I think here's the thing. I think in European football, there's a few things I believe. Money is continuing because, like, we'll talk about Chelsea really quickly. Chelsea and Todd Boehly is selling off his Muslim players and players of Muslim faith to the Saudi League, or that's religion of choice there, and they're happy to play there. He is charging because these Saudi teams have unbelievable amounts of money. He is charging.
He's an American owner, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's an American owner and used to own portions of the Red Sox and went to buy Chelsea. They spent $650 million.
They spent $1 billion this last transfer window.
I thought it was in the winter when they spent $650 total. I think they spent $1 billion. So over a year, I think they spent $1 billion. They spent more money than every other professional soccer team, I believe, during one transfer window, during a winter transfer window. So one team spent more money than every other team combined. Unfucking real. In the top 5 leagues of football. So they have to, for financial fair play, they have to go ahead and show that they have revenue in some capacity that meets what they went ahead and purchased.
And the team was terrible this year as well.
They were awful. So what they're doing is they're selling off a whole bunch of these top tier players and players who are still kind of in their peak to the Saudi League for an unbelievable amount of money, because the Saudis can pay that. The player and the agent gets paid when they get transferred. They get a portion of the transfer fee, and they get the new contract, which is a ridiculous amount of money for weekly wages. And Todd Boehly is able to go ahead and get a whole bunch of revenue that will offset all that money he spent. He's got personal friends in the Saudi League that they're making these deals with. And hey, people are already starting to cry foul who watch European football and saying, what the hell, this is not fair what Chelsea's doing.
There were no rules in place.
Now, here's the thing. What is going to happen within the next 10 years, the Saudi League is going to be one of the top 5 leagues in all of European, all of football.
I agree.
I think they may even be higher than that, because what they're going to continue to do, there's no financial fair play rules in the Saudi League. None. So as much money as you want to spend, you can spend. As much as you want to do, have at it. And what you're going to see here is that these Saudi leagues that can offer 4 and 5 times as much as some of these Premier League teams and these other leagues for players that are kind of upper echelon. Well, as a player, why would I not take a contract that pays me 4 times as much in one area to play football here than to play football there? You're going to see the talent and the competition level for the Saudi league continue to increase, and UEFA is going to see that more and more talented players are leaving on a consistent basis. And what's going to happen is all of that Super League team that tried to form this last year because they wanted more money, they are going to bring in the Saudi league to compete in these UEFA competitions. Within the next 10 years, this is going to happen.
Okay.
The thing is, it won't be called UEFA because UEFA is only European teams.
But in the next 10 years, I think that's going to happen. I'm just saying UEFA as it is constituted now. The Champions League is going to add in the Saudi League, I think, within the next 10 years.
They'll have to rename. I think you're going to see that Super League thing occur.
You're getting hung up on the name. Don't get hung up on the name, X. That's not what I'm talking about. But go ahead, Grump.
X, did you have any more to follow up on that?
No, I agree. I think you're going to see that the Saudi league is going to become a top tier league for sure. They're going to get all the talent. They can pay people more money. I mean, then you have this situation with, oh, well, what about young talent? Can they get young talent? They're not going to have the guys to train them as well. Well, no, they'll just buy those guys as well. I mean, they have an infinite amount of funds. I mean, they literally wipe their butts with dollar bills. I mean, they have infinite amount of money over there. They can get anybody who they want. I agree. I see it as being a top tier league. Yes.
Until they start getting younger players, it's not going to make much of a difference. Right now, it's like what the MLS is. They sign. It's like a retirement when players really can't play anymore at a top level for the most part, and they get offered ridiculous sums for the tail end of their careers. They're going to take it. They need to get it before they're viable, where you can say, yeah, they're a top 5 league. They're going to have to get younger players. And how they get that, they're going to have to give them like a guy like Mbappe, who makes an ungodly amount of sums of money, maybe $50 million a year. If they offer him $1 billion a year, at some point in time, somebody's going to say, yes, I'll go. And it's what you said with Cristiano Ronaldo going over there. It opened up the doors for guys like Benzema and Conte and Mane, guys like that. But they're all older guys. They need to get some younger guys over there, and that'll start the influx.
So I wanted to interrupt you because you're not understanding the implication. Bernardo Silva, 28 years old, going to the Saudi league. 28 years old, just won the Champions League, unbelievable player, scoring multiple goals at the top level. 28 years old in the prime of his carear, considering going to the Saudi league.
Okay, he hasn't gone yet. He hasn't gone yet.
You're already seeing
Eduardo
my
Mendy.
point being exactly Eduardo Mendy, 26-year-old goaltender, considering going to the Saudi.
No, already has. If he passes his physical, he signs there.
You need to
Okay.
get.
That's my point. You're already seeing the younger players moving in year 2. This is not like the MLS was. The MLS is strictly a retirement league. You're right.
But
the Saudi league pays significantly more, so they're already taking shares of the better players that are in the prime of their career. Eduardo Mendy is not in retirement home age, and neither is 28-year-old Bernardo Silva. It's just not the case.
When it was North American Soccer League in the Cosmos, they brought in Pele and everybody else. Cruyff came over, Beckenbauer,
all in their 30s, right?
Roberto
All in their
Carlos.
30s,
No,
right?
no, they were younger. It started off with Pele, just like Ronaldo. I'm trying to draw a comparison. Pele was 34 when he came over. I mean, he was no spring chicken. He was 34. But then they were paying so much money that other guys who were older, first it starts with the older guys at the tail ends of their career. They start going over. As soon as they start getting the younger players to go over, absolutely, and they will. It's just when is that going to happen?
They already are. That's
Okay.
my point.
They
You're talking
need to
about
get a
Franz Beckenbauer.
They need to bring a star, a young star. All right.
When did
Silver's
Franz Beckenbauer go over? You're making the comparison is just not apt. It's not.
28,
It's not.
28 when he went over.
Go ahead. I'll pull that up.
Germany?
I don't buy that.
Cruyff had to have been older. Cruyff played for both Ajax and Barca before he transferred.
No, I think he went to Barca after. Cruyff was only there for a year with the Aztecs. That was in 1976. I think he was there. So he was still young. Then he went to Barca after. He was only there for a year with the Aztecs. I mean, guys started going over there. They did. You got to get the high-end talent over there. I don't think Bernardo Silva is high-end talent. Eduardo Mendy, no. If they start getting guys, and Cristiano was the first guy. And then you're seeing Benzema, Ballon d'Or winner last year. He's on the downside though, right? You're seeing other guys, they're older. I think once you start, and I think it will happen, but they need to get a guy like Mbappe. Could you imagine if Mbappe went over there?
He's never
and a couple of the young players. Well, you say never, but if you pay enough money, it could happen.
So he didn't come over until he was 30. He didn't come over till 1977. He was born in 1945. So he didn't come over to the United States until he was in his 30s, Franz Beckenbauer. So again, the MLS is only bringing guys over in their 30s. You're getting guys who are in the prime of their football playing career in their 20s, mid 20s, late 20s.
Okay. One guy. He's
The
a goal
transfer window just opened up. The transfer window opened up literally 2 weeks ago. Oh, they just brought in one guy in the last 2 weeks.
I just don't.
You
think
are foolishly neglecting how quick this takeover is going to happen. Foolishly neglecting it. You are ignoring the facts.
I will wait until some young guys who are really talented. Goaltender doesn't move the needle for anybody. I'm going to wait till some young stud goes over there. And I think it will happen. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. It'll happen, but it's going to be, and then it builds momentum.
As soon as the league starts becoming more competitive and is better, you're going to get younger talent.
I'm sorry. Eduardo Mendy's 31 years old. So I'll correct myself. Eduardo Mendy's 31 years old. Bernardo Silva's 28, though.
But Silva, but he hasn't signed there yet. He's thinking about it. There's a lot of guys who are thinking about it.
Well, look up how old Zayic is, because he's one that
Ziyech is in his 30s.
Okay,
and
then Ruben Neves is also another one.
Like Koulibaly, he's 29, I believe. He was fantastic. He was a fantastic center back in the Italian league.
For Napoli,
played 1 year for Napoli. Yeah, went and played 1 year for Chelsea. And they're like, man, we need to offset this. We're considering selling you over there. You're seeing less than I said 10 years. It may be closer to 5 years. They're a top 5 league. The amount of money they're throwing at these players, you're already having 28-year-olds. I think Bernardo Silva is a stud. He's a guy who is an extremely talented player when you're talking about on the scale of world football. He plays for the best team in Europe. He's a starting center mid. He's 28 years old. He plays on the Portuguese side. He is a stud player. He's a star player. He's a guy where you get him to move over. The rest is history. You're going to see every single player.
He's not a big enough name to he's not a big enough name. No. And he hasn't signed there yet. Someone's going to actually have to sign there in their prime. No one has yet. Like I said, I think it will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And once it does, yes, then it picks up speed. But it hasn't happened yet. It's hot as hell there. The living conditions are really, really bad there.
Not the way they live. Have you seen how they travel to the games? They travel on private planes to the games, and the planes I'm talking about are the biggest damn planes I've ever seen before in my life. But you see the videos, and it's like they have enough room where everybody's just kind of standing around and walking. They've got pools and shit like that, and it's ridiculous.
I'm talking about your private life outside.
Yeah. If you're loaded and you live there, you absolutely are living a good life.
When you're making 200 million pounds a week,
that's like saying the same thing about the people of the upper echelon in Dubai. Like Dubai is the nicest place to live in the world if you're filthy rich.
Yep.
Okay. I just think there's a little more to it than that. These guys have families. I mean, there's more to it than that. I mean, moving to, one of those Saudi countries, it's not the best. It's not like it's a well-rounded area. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, the thing is, when you talk about like restrictions that they have.
Well, and you're surrounded by sand. I mean, they
seriously would love the beach.
I mean, but what I'm saying is it's not like, in this country or in Europe, oh, hey, let's go 3 hours down the road. We can go visit. That's not the way it is over there.
You're right. You're making so much money, you can just take a private flight and go wherever you want.
Okay. But, like I said, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's different when you have a family. It's different when you have a family. That's all I'm going to say. They're not going to uproot their families to go. Now, guys at the tail end.
You just said these guys would. You just said these guys would sell their businesses for billions of dollars that they own, but you don't think these guys would.
They're not moving to Qatar. They're not moving. They're not moving the franchise.
For billions of dollars, though, right? Isn't that their end goal is to make the money?
But they're not moving. But here's the thing: the guys who were selling the teams, the owners who were selling their teams, they're not moving to Qatar. They're still living in the United States.
Okay, I'll scratch that. But you just said that Mbappe would take $1 billion contract to go play over there. You think
for a couple of years? Absolutely.
That's my point, though. You don't think that these people would take $1 billion contracts to go play over there and uproot?
They're not offering everybody $1 billion contract. They offered a contract to Lukaku, and it was what he's making.
Because he wants to stay in Europe. He said he wanted to stay in Europe.
Well, Romelu Lukaku is considering leaving
because he has no other option.
He doesn't have any other choices.
He's with Chelsea. He's under contract with Chelsea.
Chelsea don't want him back.
Yeah, they don't want him back.
Chelsea, I'm getting back to the original reason why this is brought up. Chelsea is selling their players to the Saudi league where Todd Boehly is selling them at a premium where nobody else is willing to pay them But because they're going to make immense amount of money, they're able to skirt the financial fair play. It's almost like he knew he was going to do this ahead of time and saw this ahead of time. You talk about people who are ahead of the curve. As much shit as Todd Boehly gets from being an American who owns one of those European football teams and how, oh, he's so dumb spending the money. He seemed to be ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff.
He might sell guys who are part of that culture, but let's say he tries to sell somebody who's not part of the culture. They're going to say, I'm not going there. That's what will happen.
What talks, Grumpy?
Money's a universal language.
Yeah, I'm just going to say you're going to see players who are just going to say, I don't want to go there, particularly if they're younger.
Okay, that's fine. You want to turn down $1 billion contract? That's fine.
Not everybody's getting offered that type of money.
You don't know. You don't know that. You don't know what they would
not.
offer. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know though.
Super League could be brought back by Saudi Arabia and target Juventus and Barcelona to join them. Well, here you go. Well, that's how they're going to do it. The Saudis, I didn't even think about that as a possibility.
I could see that.
The Saudis are going to say, well, guess what? You know, UEFA says they don't want you to participate. Don't worry. We'll come up with the reason why they got afraid of that is because, oh, gotcha. Well, UEFA, the purse is like $70 million if we win. So we want to make sure we're getting paid through UEFA if our team does well in Champions League. But if Saudi says, hey, you're going to play for a different trophy and it's going to be worth $1 billion a year in order to play and help legitimize our sports world over here. They for certain are going to do something like that. The Saudi League will be a league to be reckoned with.
Okay.
And it's not until UEFA realizes that, holy shit, they're going to take our market share. They're going to take our top tier players. They're going to start taking away the people who bring us views and viewership. They're going to have to come groveling on their knees to say, please, let's end the war. Please come back, because they're going to freaking bend UEFA over if UEFA's not smart.
That's what happened in the PGA Tour. That's what
exactly,
happened there.
Exactly. How long did it take? 2 or 3 years, right?
But the super team, the super league, you got to have teams who are willing to do that.
The thing is, the teams were willing to do it until they were going to like take them out, pretty much.
UEFA said we're not going to allow you to compete in anything. And the reason why the teams need to compete in UEFA is because of the money.
Here's another thing. Teams want to see their teams playing in their stadiums. They don't want them going to play in Qatar.
Well, here's my thing, though. You play for tournaments, usually there's 2 legs, right? So you play one leg in your stadium and one leg at the other team's stadium. What's the difference? You still wouldn't be able to see your team play. Like, let's say your team plays in Germany or something, and then you're not going to get a ticket into a game that's in Spain. If Bayern Munich's playing Real Madrid, you're not going to
realize that's not true. They have a section for the other team's fans.
It's not. That's my point. They don't have a lot of tickets, and they're really freaking expensive to get.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it's not. But no one's going to Qatar for a first round, Champions League game. It's not happening.
But they'll go to the game when they play at home.
But no one's going to Qatar.
But my point is,
no one's going to
the games that the fans go to are the home games. They don't go to the games the second leg.
You don't have any more home games. So you're never going to see Bayern Munich play against Real Madrid or Barca against Man City.
Why would you not?
Because they're going to be in Qatar.
No, why would they be in Qatar? Hold on. They're all going to play each other. Imagine it's like a league. Some of the teams are going to be
again, the teams would have to agree to that. They
bailed out. If you say, I'm going to pay you a crazy, filthy amount of money.
They bailed out like that.
Because they were going to.
Why did they bail out?
Because UEFA put a little bit of pressure on them and they freaking bailed. They know where their bread is buttered. They're not going to risk that.
Yeah, until they offer up like a $800 or $3 billion purse for the Saudi League Cup final winners.
I just think that you're making it way, it's way too simple. You're trying to make it way too. There's a lot of other things that go into it.
It is simple.
Okay.
They offer the most money.
Let's see. I want to bookmark this one because I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Okay.
UEFA has almost unlimited power. They have unlimited power.
When their talent pool drops significantly because these players are going to play overseas in the Saudi League,
yes,
you're going to see shit start to change.
Again, it has to be guys out of contract.
You are foolish to think that this is the MLS 2.0. Foolish.
What do you mean? They don't have to be out of contract. They can transfer whenever they want.
He thinks that the players. He thinks it's going to be like the MLS, where only the old retired players go and transfer there. And
that's what's happening right now. It's just the old retired players for the most part. Messi, guys like that.
Is Conte old and retired?
He's like 30 something.
They're on the
He just
tail
turned
end.
30.
They're on
Conti
the
was just
tail
a
end.
team of the season player year in and year out.
They're on the
Benzema
tail
just
end,
won the
though.
Ballon d'Or.
They're on the tail end. They're on the tail end of their careers.
Okay.
I will say Benzema did just have, not the last year, but the year before that, the best year of his entire career.
Right. He's 35. He's on the tail end of his career. Luka Modric.
Agreed.
They offered Tony Cruz. They offered Luka Modric. They're both staying. Modric is 38. Cruz is what, 32? They're on the tail end of their careers.
Okay. It starts like that, but then when you see guys who are 28, like Bernardo Silva, move over.
It's someone has to actually sign over there who's really good. That's what Pele did for going way back, North American Soccer League. That was the impetus. You have to get somebody like that going over there.
Okay, Ronaldo signed over there at 38.
Ronaldo's 38.
Okay, he's still really good.
If Ronaldo was 33 and signed over there, it's a different story. He's 38 now. Not the
But
same
you think
player.
Pele at 35?
Pele was
It's different.
34. Pele was 34.
Okay, you think Pele? When did Pele retire?
36.
Okay, so he played over there for 2 years
3
before
years.
he retired.
3 years.
Okay, 3 years before he retired.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
There's not much of it. And Ronaldo's on his second year
okay.
playing. So
Pele,
what's the difference?
Okay, you aren't. Pele was soccer. Everyone knew Pele. Everyone knew Pele.
Everybody knows Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, Pele is. Okay.
He's the most followed sports athlete in the history of sports.
I don't care about any of the social media bullshit.
Again, you're saying everybody knows
telling
Pele.
you-
Everybody knows who Cristiano Ronaldo
I am
is.
telling you, Pele was a bigger soccer player than Ronaldo.
Wrong.
I
You
disagree.
weren't
absolutely
even
wrong.
fucking alive. You
You're
don't know
wrong.
what you're talking
You're
about.
wrong.
No, you're wrong. Everyone knew
Ronaldo
Pele.
is more well known than Pele.
No.
Everybody in the world knows who Ronaldo is.
No.
Okay, you're
No.
right. You're right.
wrong. You
You're
weren't
right.
alive. You have no idea what you're talking about. Even people who didn't know anything about soccer in this country knew Pele.
Yeah.
He was the Babe Ruth of soccer. Pele. When
Everybody
you think,
knows who Cristiano Ronaldo
when
is.
you think wrestling, who do you think?
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk
Andre-
Hogan.
Andre
Same
the
thing.
Giant. Andre the
Same
Giant.
thing.
Hulk Hogan.
Same thing. Hulk Hogan.
It's the same thing. When you think wrestling, Hulk Hogan. When you think soccer, you think Cristiano Ronaldo. You're right,
No,
it's the same
you
thing.
think Pele.
Leo
You
Messi
think
and
Pele, you
Cristiano.
think Pele because he played when you were younger. That's why. That's why
No,
you think
you're,
Pele.
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong. Let's just move on to another topic because you both don't know what the fuck you're talking about, honestly.
That's right.
Here's the thing.
Most
Grumpy,
followed athlete-
your
Grumpy
knowledge-
did not
your
see
knowledge-
the forest for the trees.
Your knowledge goes back 10 years. That's it.
He's
That's
looking
all.
like this. He's playing checkers as we're playing chess, X. And he just doesn't understand the true implications that throwing $400 million a week at a player can do. Like Wilfred Zaha.
I want to
He's
see it
going
happen
with-
first. Let's see. Wait till it happens. It's got to happen. I think it will. It's not going to be like you said today or tomorrow.
In
I just
10
don't-
years, this will all have already happened and they will have joined and merged with the Saudi League
Don't
or
worry,
Super
Grump.
League.
Don't worry,
10
Grump.
years.
There's only,
10.
don't worry, Grump. There's only 592 million people who know who Cristiano Ronaldo is on Instagram. It's okay.
Not that big.
That's
Not
just a
that
couple.
big.
That's just a few. That's just a few.
Not that big. Who's this Messi guy? Cristiano and Messi? Who are they? Pele.
Pele.
Everybody knows all three
Pele.
of those guys.
Pele.
I'd say all three of them are equally as popular.
Okay, just move on.
What are you?
You're wrong.
Is the draft? Is the draft starting to hit a low?
Just go to the next question. What else
Born
you got?
baby.
You're grumpy. Nice comment here.
Miami just drafted off-brand Adam Morrison, who sucked, and
Oh my
off-brand
God,
Kylo
yeah.
Ren, who sucked. His name is Jamie Jaquez Jr. I bet
He
he
did
sucks.
look like off-brand Adam Morrison. He absolutely did.
Okay, the first pitch of all the. I think we already got that one. I think we already showed all the DMs. James F. Grumpy.
Impressive that twin brothers got drafted 4th and 5th in the draft,
Would have
Yeah,
been cool if they were playing on the same team. I thought that would have been neat.
like the Sedines.
Holy shit, Grumpy.
Yep.
Oh man.
Well, like the
Grumpy.
McCoys, but they didn't get drafted on the same team. But
Grumpy, we do have a picture for you, Grumpy old man.
oh,
Grumpy! Do you know who that is, Grumpy? Do you recognize those two faces?
That's what it'd be like. I would stop any young punk going to the hole.
no, Wee Hoopin's about to absolutely pulverize.
That's
him.
we hooping.
That's Wee Hoopin.
He's like, I guarantee you wouldn't score.
We hooping!
He's saying, Grumpa, get ready to hit the trampoline.
Ow! Grumpy! You could have put my face and X's face on there talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and talking about
Charlotte
the
Hornets pick is in. Who's it going to be? Let's see.
Mohamed Gaia.
Okay.
I never heard of him.
Maybe Gay. I don't know.
All righty. Keep reading comments, please, Grumpy.
Got to put one up, don't you?
He puts ramen in his pancakes. That's what he says. You go, Grumpy. James F.
What's with these kids getting drafted? Can't afford socks? Yeah, I have a problem with it too.
Here you go, Grumpy. James F.
The kid Orlando picked looks like they picked him up off the street. I give him 3 years until his career's over. Like I said, I never heard any of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah,
I'm gonna say you probably don't keep up as much with basketball as you used to.
College basketball. I mean,
none of these guys are playing in college.
A lot of them are overseas that they picked.
Or they play in college and they're not even starters. They're like guys coming off the bench.
They just picked some guy who played for Barcelona's basketball team.
Drew L said, TJ, I'm truly sorry if Grumpy gets your podcast canceled. He's just an idiot. He just doesn't understand. He can't be saying dumb shit like that. We're a sports podcast. And even though we have these conversations with him, he just does the dumb shit. Always. It's like you can't take him anywhere. You got to be very careful in what you talk about because he's just a freaking loose cannon. He doesn't know how to control himself. They found the wreckage of the ship, says Frank. Yeah, I did see that. And TJ, the vessel imploded. They're not going to find anything. I think they're going to find little parts and pieces of people, won't they?
It's going to be about this big. Be a little ball.
Tony G says,
you know what? It had to be miserable being on that vessel when you see it starting to crumple around, just like, holy shit.
You're going to be Tony G's, Grumpy.
James Cameron had lunch with Bill Paxton down by the Titanic.
I don't even know if this is true.
I think it's trolling.
Everything was a robot. Everything was robotic. They said.
Well, the thing is, they said the furthest down that a rescue has ever been conducted was 1,500 feet in the ocean. A rescue.
Now
that Titanic's wreckage was like over 11,000 feet down.
2.5 miles down.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way they were ever getting those. Even if they knew that they were down there alive and they couldn't get, like, let's say the ship or something got stuck on something, they're like, yeah, we can't get back up. They were still going to die because they're going to run out of oxygen. Honestly, it's better that it imploded than them. Because, I mean, think about how miserable it would be you running out of oxygen trying to breathe. Suffocating. That would suck.
Question: would you rather be stuck in a submarine with Mekhi Becton or Zion Williamson? I would say probably Zion. I would say Zion. I don't want to be stuck anywhere with Mekhi Becton.
He would block you out of the ship or throw your ass out of the ship.
I'd be afraid. Here's the thing: cannibalism would have ensued before the implosion, and he would have won.
Oh man.
That's got to be a miserable way to go, though. But you know what? If you're stupid enough to do something like that, kind of get what you get, right?
Adam Silver kind of looks like Zuckerberg if he was bald and old.
He looks like an alien.
Yeah, they all do. From what I heard, Victor Wembanyama, his trainer used to be Giannis's trainer when he was packing on weight. So I think he'll be just fine.
Giannis did pack on a lot of weight. He was really thin coming in as well.
Unless he tears a knee, then he's effed. Yeah.
Those big guys, the really tall ones, struggle with foot injuries and leg injuries. It's just hard because, it's just tough. It's a lot of stress and strain.
Yeah, it's the way their bodies are built.
Frank's saying, wow, I wonder why players don't want to stay in Calgary. I assume higher taxes. They've got high taxes too. The same reason why people apparently don't want to play for the Islanders. I don't know. You see all over the place. I wonder if it's just like the quality of living there, but a lot of people do not want to play for Calgary. Don't know what it is, but they don't want to stay in Calgary. That simple. James F. Grumpy.
I was listening to NHL radio, and the host said Vernon and Turgeon should not be in the Hall of Fame. Discuss. Plus, should the Islanders retire Turgeon's number?
The Islanders should retire his number.
No, they should not retire his number. He's only there a couple of years. You don't retire a guy's numbers there a couple of years. Don't do it. There are other guys I think were more deserving. I'll just put it to you that way.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot yesterday. We'll kind of save that there, James, a little bit, but we talked about that a lot yesterday. I'm kind of Pierre Turgeon out. Drew L. Grumpy.
But this has always been Germain. He's a AAA pitcher without substances. The only reason he's still on the team is because Brian Cashman is the GM. TJ is pronounced Herman. Drew says, see, Grumpy doesn't know culture. Slam all was a 2000 staple
ball.
in sports. Okay. Not only that, he can get front row seating with his favorite person, we hooping.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There it is.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should coordinate a one-on-one basketball game. We hooping against the Grump.
Grumpy would get embarrassed. We can't.
That kid would get hurt.
No, Grumpy would get embarrassed.
He'd get hurt. He'd get undercut. Something would happen.
Grumpy would not even be able to go up and down the court.
I'd beat him. He'd be injured, and first of all, I guarantee he's a pussy. Okay,
you couldn't even make it. You couldn't even make it down the court 10 times. Grumpy, please stop.
No,
I know I can shoot.
He's a bitch. Playing on one basket.
First of all,
3-point line.
He can't even get out of his mother's attic. No.
I'm just happy you remember it was an attic and not a basement.
What's the difference?
Wow, if Lou wasn't the worst general manager in the league,
Insulation.
it could be this guy from Calgary. Oh man, I guess Wander Franco has Julius Randle syndrome. Oh God, yeah. There's Shohei Ohtani was last year, says Derek Monroe. Tatis was
at the MLB.
Oh, that's where you do it. Also, Kadarius Toney apparently gave the Giants fan the middle finger. But F him, who cares? Yeah, I could care less about Kadarius Toney. Drew says, Grumpy, apparently, from what I've heard, former Duke basketball player Trevor Keels went through kind of like a last-ditch growth spurt. The Knicks players have been saying he's really tall now.
Well, he wasn't real tall when he played for Duke.
Joseph C. He's back. He says, Herman, TJ. He doesn't have the sticky stuff anymore. That's what.
But after the sticky stuff, after the suspension, he pitched well. There were a couple of times he had really good outings. He's just always been up and down, though.
Joseph also saying it's like the live version of NBA Jam. There it is. And also, since Portland drafted Scoot Henderson, Damian Lillard has requested a trade.
Miami.
Christoph Porzingis.
What I've heard. Yep.
Christoph Porzingis is being traded there to Boston. Yep.
I'm telling you, if Miami gets Dame, they're going to be in contention to win the finals next year.
Okay.
And I overheard the Saudis have actual U.S. dollar money printing machine. Imagine that. Now they don't have something like that.
It's called oil.
Yep.
I guess, yeah. And other sports news, Anthony Volpe has apparently adjusted his swing. He's now batting .273 since that.
Good for him.
My little brownie and I, we both got our tank tops on. She says, TJ, I'm loving a headband. I'll wear mine next time. There it is. I'm about to say I'm wearing it in honor of Drew Timmy today.
Can I just say something? My little brownie's headband look is going to be way better than yours.
You saying my headband doesn't look good on my head?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, yours is literally here's a 4 band.
And look at how much he's got, like 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. That's like a 12 head. I mean, that's big, man. It's supposed to keep the hair out of your eyes. You don't need one.
Read this here real quick, Grumpy.
Oh, my God. There are a lot of religious restrictions in Saudi Arabia that eventually are going to surface. That has the potential to become a huge issue. For example, it is illegal to wear a crucifix. What will happen if a player has a crucifix tattoo? How about not being able to celebrate non-Muslim religious holidays? You're not going to taking that into account. Yeah, there's a lot of things that it's just
one thing
over there.
I'll say one thing though, they've already changed rules for Cristiano Ronaldo. They said you couldn't live with your quote unquote girlfriend unless they were married. They already changed that rule for Cristiano Ronaldo. I guarantee you they're going to lack certain stuff.
Holy shit!
Players to come over.
Holy shit, X.
What? I know he's got double headbands on.
You still see Skull. You still see Skull. He's got a double headband, and you can
no headband. All right, all Skull is now gone, baby. Double headband it up for you.
But the sad part is not all gone.
Okay. Here's the thing.
We already read that one.
I'm just saying you're gonna see some of those restrictions get laxed for those players to have them come over there and play.
Yes,
they won't be able to go out in public.
How often do people go out there in public?
How
often do even like famous EPL players go out in public?
I don't know, but you're not even going to have that option. I just think it's a totally different lifestyle over there.
Yeah, I mean, think about you're honestly at that point in time, you're a celebrity. You make millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars every year.
Yep.
To suck it up for what? 5 years?
I'm telling you, you'll see more and more people. The sport will continue to grow.
We'll see.
Okay, I promise you it'll happen. How about that?
Hey, we're gonna have a league on the face of the sun.
There's a difference.
Just enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't think they're concerned. Joseph C says
They had to have the World Cup in the middle of freaking December just to make it playable. It's so hot there.
That's Qatar.
Huggins was busted for DUI before too when he was at Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's had alcohol issues before.
Here's the problem with the Saudi league, says Milo Brownie. They need more homegrown talent rather than constantly importing players. Speaking as a financial person, it's not a sustainable model.
That's right. It's not.
They just continue to buy all the best.
Yeah, I'll say one. They have a ton of money. That's the only thing that they have that's going for them. They have a ton of money, and it ain't running out anytime soon.
Have you seen any of the highlights of that league? They suck.
No, they don't suck.
They suck.
You're wrong.
Okay. I watched some highlights, and I'm like, yikes, this league is bad.
Cristiano was great.
One thing I'll say, though, the more and more players that they get to come over, the better the quality of the league will become.
I agree. I just think it's a hard move. You're moving. It's not like it's I mean, it's a miserable place to live.
It's not a miserable place to live.
Here's the thing that you have to take it is like how many people would work a job that they might not really like to make 10 times the amount of money what they make at their current job.
Eventually, the money, happiness is more important than money.
5 years. 5 years. That's it.
I'm telling you this, Grumpy. Star League. Watch out.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
They're goaltenders. They're goaltenders in their defense side. It's like watching Major League Soccer. The same thing. Same thing. TJ next. So now, if you want, you can go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now on a digital card game. Oh my God!
I guess that was your Grumpy.
I remember they actually used to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game on the Game Boy Color. We used to have that. It was so much fun back in the day.
Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, he was like
Yame Yugi. Christian. Grumpy, you remember all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, don't you, Grumpy?
I don't remember any Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters.
Kaiba. Yes. It's Kaiba.
The silver hair who freaking
Pegasus.
Pegasus, that was it, Pegasus.
God damn, Max, you should know this by now. Come on.
Dame time. They're talking about Dame time on the NBA draft right
Local Union County kid, Hunter Tyson, just drafted by OKC. Mario says, do you guys think the Saudi police are going to tolerate the hooligans? Well, hooligans playing around, probably not. There are a lot of...
They won't be there. They can't afford the trip.
Yeah. Trust me, they have plenty of people, plenty of Saudi-born individuals.
There are a lot of things you're not taking into consideration that can put the brakes on the Saudi League ascendance.
Nothing is going to put the brakes.
You're playing on the face of the sun. That's a big impediment to a lot.
It's really hot. Oh no, we can't play soccer when it's really hot outside.
Here's my thing. Didn't they just play a World Cup there?
Yes, they did. They play all the games in the evening time.
Apparently they were okay about playing a World Cup there, but heaven forbid they go play club. Is that what you're saying? They can play World Cup there, but they can't play club. Okay.
Yeah, Grumpy just don't get it. Grumpy just too old to understand. Grumpy's brain too old to understand.
I don't see anyone going to Qatar. Hey, where's a vacation destination? It's not Qatar. It's not the Saudi League. I want to go to Saudi Arabia. I want to just stare out and see nothing but sand.
That's my next spot. That's my next vacation spot. Saudi Arabia. Can I please get a ticket there?
I'm sure you can. I'm guaranteed they just give that shit away. We don't even fly there. Sorry, you'll have to stop here, and you can just get a camel and walk the rest of the way to wherever you want to go.
Mario says, TJ Senex, Pele was huge without social media. Absolutely was. Had he played today with social media, there's no telling how more popular he would have been. Here's the thing. He did a lot of things fantastic. Players, it's like you're comparing apples to oranges when you look at players from decades ago to compared to now. What are you shaking your heads for?
I think they both would have the same popularity.
Won 3 World Cups.
Okay, how many games did he play? One of the World Cups he was injured. One of the World Cups he was pretty much injured all throughout.
No, that's the one he didn't win.
I'm telling you.
Back when the talent was nowhere near as good as it is now. The game's developed and changed a lot more now.
Pele was nowhere near
also,
the player
Brazil
that
had the
Cristiano
best talent back in the day. It wasn't just him who won those World Cups.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And about Jorginho. Look at how many legitimate Brazilian talent.
You don't know.
Garnacho is also on that team.
You don't know. It was way more physical.
True.
He did that shit where people just running guys over. Different game.
It's a lot different game.
None of these softy Gen X games like you guys play, Yu-Gi-Oh! Talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's talk about man sports, not Yu-Gi-Oh!
You mean sports? Grandpa's talking about. Fuck. Mario says here the world's landmarks were lit in the colors of Brazilian flag in honor of Pele. I don't see that being done for Messi or CR7.
100% agree.
Just wait.
When were the landmarks lit?
That's what they did when he died. It was a world event.
I'm telling you one thing: when Lionel Messi dies or Cristiano, it's going to be the same damn thing.
No, it's not. No, it won't. They're not as they. Forget it. Forget it. You don't understand.
Say they're not as big as Pele.
It's like baseball. When you think baseball, even if you don't know baseball, you know Babe Ruth.
You think
so
Shohei Ohtani?
So you think Pele only because he was the first to do it. So let's say Shohei Ohtani beats the hell out of all of Babe Ruth's numbers. Then are you still going to be thinking Babe Ruth?
Everybody will think Babe Ruth
because he was the first to do it.
As soon as Shohei Ohtani out home runs every team in the league, then come back and talk to me. That's what Babe Ruth did.
Over time, all these old legends get forgotten a little bit. And
Babe Ruth has been dead for 70 fucking years. He's still the name you think when you think baseball. He's been dead for 70 years. He's been dead for 70 years.
He was the first to do it. You're right. That's why. That's why he's still remembered. He was the first to do it. Not the fact that he was more popular than other players were.
It's funny. When you ask about sports, they say, who's the Babe Ruth of this sport? That's how big he was. He was baseball, Babe Ruth. You don't know anything. You're all young and stupid. Like I said, your knowledge goes back about 3 weeks.
When I think of baseball, when you're going to think of baseball in the future, you're going to think of Shohei Ohtani.
Well, did you watch Babe Ruth play?
I did not.
That's my point. You remember him because he was the first to do it. You never watched him play. You never watched
him talked about him.
Because he was the first to do it. That's why.
Because he was transcended.
He was the first to do it.
And guess what? Just like over time, people used to think football was synonymous with Joe Namath. Well, Grumpy used to say Phil Simms, football god. And then Tom Brady came around.
It's not Tom Brady. It's not Tom Brady.
With Cristiano, Lionel Messi, those are the guys.
It's Pele. It's Pele.
No,
it's Pele.
Because Pele played against freaking damn farmers. Are you shitting me? Absolutely not. Please stop. It's just like the same thing with Babe Ruth. You know what?
He would not have been on the same caliber. If Pele played nowadays, he would not have been on the same.
Even better.
He would have been a good player.
He'd be better because you can't touch guys now. You can't touch guys now. No. If you put Messi back in that day, he would have had 14 goals.
The guys are a hell of a lot faster now than they were back then. That was the one thing he had. He had a shit ton of speed. That Brazilian team had a lot of speed.
Yeah, guess what, though? They chop you down like they had axes out there.
Cristiano transcends all of that.
All right, get to the next comment. I don't want to argue about this anymore. You're wrong. Just move on.
It's okay.
We Hoopin looks like Drew.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
Ooh.
He said, Frank is being a creep. And Drew says here, I think TJ gets a D+ today for managing the comments his podcast. Well, I do my best. Mario says here, they would have felt anything. They would not have felt, anything during the implosion under that type of pressure.
Yep, that's 100% true. It would have been like instantaneous, boom, they would have been dead.
That's good then. At least
that's why I said I'm happy that happened than them being down there like literally suffocating.
Tony Chi said, teacher just realized what time it is. He's going to speed through the podcast. There it is. Mario says, LaFontaine should be considered in having his number retired. He went to the Hall of Fame as an Islander.
No.
Grumpy sounds like he wants to unlock his inner John Jones in the basketball match between him and We Hoopin. There it is.
Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Look at that, Grumpy. Here you go.
Tony G says, it is not a troll. James Cameron had lunch with Bill Paxton on the deck of the Titanic during 9/11.
Was it a replica?
Holy shit. No, that's true. By the New York Post. James can't hold on. Damn.
Like I said, why would you do something dumb like that? Nothing good can happen.
How in the hell?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know.
James Cameron's Titanic submersible filmmaking dive made history. Made him miss 9/11. Yeah, sure it is. There it is. The submersible vessel was nearly 13,000 feet underwater on the fateful date of September the 11th of 2001. Yep, there it is. James Cameron.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Would you think James Cameron is a great director, X? I'm not even asking TJ.
I don't know who any of those fucking guys are.
I'll say Titanic is a renowned movie, so I'll say yes because of that one film.
Okay. Do you think he's a great director? He did the Terminator films.
I'm not a like. I know a lot of people like Terminator. I'm not a fan of Terminator.
Really, I like
No.
Terminator.
I'm
Titanic
not a fan of Terminator.
Titanic, probably the greatest
Yes.
date movie ever.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, yeah, I would put him on the caliber of that. I mean, because there's a lot of guys who have been one and dones for movies, but they're known because of the one movie they made.
And then he does the Avatar films. I think he's a good director, not a great one.
You see, I think again, like we've talked about Avatar. I think Avatar more so was unique for being the first movie with like really incredible CGI, more so than the actual story of the movie was.
Drew says, my little brownie's headband would look better because she at least doesn't have an 8-finger forehead like TJ. Sorry, forehead.
Yep.
Fucking bastard. I think time to TJ, just let it go. Shave the thing.
Well,
needs to pull the Andre Agassi. Just get rid of it all.
Oh, look at there. Tony Cheese has got himself on a little headband. He says Frank is a dog. Hold on.
That looks like a tie.
I was making a comment. Tony, stop being a millennial. Oh, God. By the way, the NBA draft is almost over. Wait, so Grumpy doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh characters, but he knows what hentai is.
I didn't know what hentai was. I'd heard the term. What were we even talking about with hentai? What was the thing we were talking anime? I think we were talking about anime. It was anime.
The first time you read hentai, he's like, what is that? Hentai.
I didn't know. Now I do.
Tony Cheese said, I had the Yu-Gi-Oh game for GameCube. It was trash. Oh, man.
Unfortunate. Never had the GameCube version. I did have the Game Boy version, though. That one was fun.
I'm just going to pop that up. I'm not going to read it, but I thought it was a funny comment there by Tony Cheese. Oh, my God. He says, oh, Tony, shame. Tony Cheese is wilding out. Tony Cheese is taking a spot for Tony Bear Curtis tonight. Mario says, oh my gosh, 15 girls died in a fire in Saudi Arabia because their religious police didn't allow their evacuation because they were not wearing their burqas.
It's a little bit different over there.
Yeah, I don't think those people are again like you're not going to have any problem at all getting people over there to play in the Saudi league. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, when you're the upper echelon like that and you're bringing in money, I think they're going to let certain stuff that they don't let for other people slide for you.
Sure. Like how Tony Cheese said, all right, that went too far. I apologize. Oh, God. Let's see here. I think it's the headband making me more of a douche than usual. I understand. Tony, having new babies has made you a crazy man. Mario says here, Wembley's Arc, the Eiffel Tower.
Arch, not Arc.
Arch. The Eiffel Tower, the Sydney Opera House, among others, were lit in yellow and green.
Yeah, I didn't know they did that when he died. I didn't know that.
You don't realize because you don't know. You're just stupid.
Guess what?
You don't.
But if he's such a well-known player, shouldn't I know that?
Guess what? When Cristiano Ronaldo, it's going to be the same shit. Same shit.
It wasn't on your feed. It wasn't on your feed.
If he's such a well-known player, though, shouldn't I have known that?
Probably because it was on your feed, which only goes to 2010.
That's it.
Tony G says, I also want to apologize for saying TJ has a PDF file mustache.
PDF file mustache. Oh, thank you. Tony Cheese looks like the Karate Kid man. LOL, awesome.
No, actually, he looks like Limu Emo. He looks like Doug.
Oh, Limu Emu and Doug.
Oh God, and Doug. I was too busy with my 9-month pregnant wife. I missed a few podcasts, and I got pent up douchiness. There he is. He's going crazy. Family therapy's running late tonight. There it is. That it is. It's running later than usual. Let's see here.
Frank says, "How did you not like the Terminator?"
Yeah.
X.
8-finger special.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I mean, the first, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I wouldn't put it up there as like a great movie, though.
Oh, it was a great movie.
Grumpy, I want you to read this comment. I want Grumpy because there's a word in it, Grumpy. I want to know if you know what Riz means. Read this.
I don't. Tony Cheese got the unspoken Riz.
What's Riz, Grumpy?
I just said I don't know what it means.
Take a guess, Grumpy.
I don't know. I don't know.
Grumpy is not a wizard.
Grumpy, like Riz is imagined like game. it's synonymous with being able to influence people with, like, I would say sexual appeal, also with like the appeal of like your words, you're articulate, you're somebody that is highly sought after. That's what Riz kind of is, if I had to break it down in the English language. Grumpy isn't a Rizzly bear. So people just kind of like throw around like they put Riz with everything. Son X, if you had no idea of Pele's magnitude, that says more about you than Pele.
I know who Pele was as a player.
And you never saw him. You never saw him play.
You realize it's
fucking Luke Eric was, and all the other players.
Exactly.
Too.
You know who Babe Ruth was.
I knew who Johan Cruyff was. I know who Ruud Gullit was. I didn't.
I knew who Mickey Mantle was. Never saw him play. That's my point. Is like there's a lot of other players who I never watched playing who I knew who they were. I'm just saying I would put Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi on the same caliber of a popular player as Pele.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I absolutely would. Okay.
Nobody beats the Riz. Oh, Grumpy, here you go. Read this one, Grumpy. True.
Tony, just like an alligator, a ferocious Rizzard. What color would a Rizzard be? Probably blue.
Blue Rizzard.
A blue Rizzard.
Oh, there you go. Okay, let's look here. I think there's one more item I want to talk about. Okay, you wanted to look at this. This is from Davey Martinez. This is a good way. Good last topic on the show. I'll tell you this. I was going to get some food for dinner. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to eat dinner tonight.
I don't think you will be able to eat dinner tonight.
You can skip a meal or two. It's all right.
Fuck.
There's Zion. You can skip a meal or two, Zion.
Oh, shit. Mackay.
I mean, that is.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to go there?
Yeah, we're going to go there.
Huh?
Here we go, Davey. Let's go.
How many people are in the stands?
Not many.
Nobody at this freaking game.
Washington Day game.
No. You're not going to tell me. You know what? You take care of your job out there. Whoever said it, okay, then I'll take care of you.
This may not end well for Davey, but he's still hot about Abrams at bat and others.
Yeah, the rabbit ears come out pretty hot right here when there's a little bit less of a crowd.
Yes,
sparse crowd.
He's giving the fans a show.
Okay, you're done.
There he goes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, that's the one you call strikes on us. I like him.
I don't even know what the fucking record. I don't know what the record of the Nationals is, but I love this guy.
Good.
Me too.
Good for him. You know what? He's not taking the bullshit of the umpires, the damn militia that they have out there. Oh, yeah, our way goes. You get kicked out of the game. That's it. We can F up and make multiple mistakes. You get kicked out.
There were 2 games this week where they gave guys runs when they were tagged out at the home plate. One, the guy was behind the plate, catches the ball, leans forward, and tags the guy before he had a path into the plate. He catches it, tags him before he touched the plate, and they say, you blocked his path. They gave him a run. Then there was one, San Diego was playing, Gary Sanchez, and the ball was up the line. He catches it. The guy tried to go around him. He tagged him out. It's where the ball was thrown. Safe, even though he tagged me. I'm like, you got it. You know what? Screw it. Block the plate. Do whatever I hate that rule. You can't they're just giving teams runs. It's like you can't get near the plate. Just let them walk in. That's what it's saying. It's terrible.
I'm going to put this up here. Drew sent this to us. This is maybe the worst first pitch ever in sports.
This is the big guy, right?
No.
Holy shit. Who is that?
His shoe got fucking. He slipped up on a shoe. Look at his shoe here.
You got to make it a little bigger.
I can't. This is what happens when people send me shorts, Grumpy. It doesn't allow me to get bigger. This is the screen you get to look at, my friend.
Okay. All right.
Zoom in.
So you can do it then. You can do it. Jesus.
Are we sure he didn't fall, like pretend fall?
He just fell off his foot.
No, it looks like he pretend fell.
Maybe he did.
I think he did too. Too bad somebody didn't hit him in the head with a bat.
I don't know about that. It doesn't look like he tried.
The way he laid there afterwards, he wasn't embarrassed or anything. He did that.
Look at his foot. No way in hell he did this on purpose.
Absolutely.
That's the way his foot does.
Watch.
Come on.
Why is he laying there?
Because it just was like, holy shit, I couldn't even fucking throw a ball.
Look at the
I
comments.
was in front of people, and I couldn't even hit the damn plate. I couldn't even throw the ball. This is a bad one, Grumpy.
Why is he stepping and then falling backwards? Look at how he does it. He steps and then falls backwards.
It's like he slid
angles himself to fall.
Watch, he slides his back foot.
He's wearing the sneakers and he slides. Look at this shit.
He did a
Okay,
slide.
I'm gonna let you know one thing. You don't slide with sneakers on the mound. On dirt. You don't. You do not.
Let me turn the volume
It's
off.
not ice. You don't slide.
Hold on. No, this is not fake. It looks real.
It is fake.
It looks fake as hell.
He absolutely you have to turn your foot to get it to go like that.
Look at him. He turns his foot like that and he falls back.
And then he laid there like he was dead.
How can you tell how long he's laying there? He literally just got down. He just
Why does he continue to throw the balls? He's falling down if it was an accident.
Because they want to at least try to get the
He's
whole
a moron. You know what I wish would have happened? I wish somebody would have hit him in the head with a baseball bat.
A hammer.
Dead.
No,
Let's
Grump, a
finish
hammer.
him off.
You know what, Grumpy? If he was throwing a home, you know what would be better than that guy throwing the first pitch was Wee Hoopin. Wee Hoopin needs to throw the first pitch for a Baltimore Orioles game.
He'd throw the ball like this, and it would fall out of his hand. His little flipper.
Oh man. Oh, Jesus Christ, here. Hold on a second. We got a few comments here. Grumpy, TJ, I think the last topic. Yeah, there it is. Matt Lebrani said, do you count endurance sports as a sport? Because the Tour de France is starting soon. Yeah, I count that as a sport.
And I don't care that they use steroids or blood doping or anything else. I care less.
I don't care if anybody uses steroids. I don't.
It's the same
Use
thing
them at
like
your own,
marathon runner.
use them at your own risk.
It's
Like
tough to
marathon
watch the
runners,
Tour de
they
France. I mean, does anyone watch the Tour de France? It's tough to watch.
You have friends who live in the area who watch the Tour de France. I can think of one in particular that does.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but most people don't. It's not doesn't have big.
You have to bike. You have to bike. I feel like to be a fan of the Tour de France.
Well, it's the same thing as like marathon runners. Like I consider marathon running a sport, but
You know, you know how I think it could be more exciting if you have guys over there who try to like throw sticks through spokes of tires as they're coming across. Now that would be good.
they do. You have women who run across. They try and play a game of what is it, Frogger? So they try and get in front of the bikes before they go by.
Now that's pretty.
Why don't you pull that clip up?
I like the ones where it's like the guys bump into somebody. Which clip is it? X?
Look up, girl gets steamrolled by bike.
Very specific.
It's gonna pull up the. I know it'll pull up probably the exact.
This
Video.
is, okay, see, this is the problem. Because if I start looking this up on my YouTube, I'm going to start getting a whole bunch of shitty suggestions on my YouTube. Like recently, we talk about accidents. I ran across something I was scrolling through on my feed, and it was somebody who got in the motorcycle accident. And let me put it to you like this. Half their leg was missing. You could see her shoe and her foot.
Yeah, I
angle
sent
was-
that one to you actually. I think.
Thank you for that one, X.
You want to know the type of
Glad
stuff
you
I get
sent
on?
me fucking crazy shit
Somebody
like
else sent it to me, and they-
missing fucking limbs, you maniac.
Somebody else sent it to me, and then I knew it would make you queasy, so I just sent it to you.
So yeah, and you wonder why I don't look at what you send me on Instagram.
Yeah,
and all
that's
this other
TJ
shit.
once again trying to make excuses for his failure as a host. He's a
Yeah,
freaking
okay.
dictator.
For every maybe one topic I get about 5 or 6 people. Nick will send me. Okay, I'm sorry. X will send me.
What a
he'll send me-
loser. What a
he'll send me- hold
loser.
on. X will send me, Grumpy.
What a
X will
loser.
send me a video, and it's like warehouse accident in Taiwan. Or something like that, warehouse accident in some place overseas, and it'll be somebody who gets their like a hydraulic press. And hold on,
Here's
stop.
the thing, though. No, here's the thing. I don't even actually look at them. The fact that you told me one time, you're like, "Stop sending me these. They make me feel bad." When you watch them, you said, "I feel ill when I watch them." I don't even look at what the video is. I see like half it. I know what's gonna happen. I just send it to you because I know it's gonna make you feel sick.
Thank you.
That's why I do it.
He sent me, Grumpy. I'm gonna to get to what your son, your maniac of so like I'll send like war videos because
Can I just say one thing?
yeah,
Can I just
so
say one
people
thing?
get blown up.
Can I say one thing? I had to fill up the refrigerator with water today.
I wasn't at the house.
Oh, X, come on.
Did I not help you fill it up the last time I was there?
No, you did not.
I prepped you a grape drink.
Whoop-de-doo.
He slid it down your throat too and rubbed your gullet while you did it.
Yeah, you
Isn't
did.
that
I
right?
wanted to. I was actually holding it to like pour it into
TJ,
my mouth.
do you want me to tell you what TJ wanted me to watch with him one time, and I just like I'm not watching.
Oh, buddy, this is good shit on Instagram. Go ahead, Grump.
I don't know if we can talk about that. It seems like you get upset about everything.
pedophiles. So it was about.
Yeah, I have no interest in watching anything on pedophiles.
It's a guy. Well, you can't say that. You're not supposed to be able to say those words. Those are bad words on YouTube. You can't say those words. Anyway, so it's a guy who catches people like Chris Hansen did, who were trying to take advantage of minors, and he gets them turned into cops, but he does it in a funny manner. So I like that.
I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it. I'm not just not interested. And he just
guy
one after another. Oh wait, one. I'm like,
getting back on topic, Grumpy, because I want to talk about what X sends me, and then we'll get back on topic of sports. He sent me a video of a person who was working. It looked like, I'd say, a sweatshop, probably, and these people were probably low education individuals, because like the sweatshop was not in good condition. I can tell you the safety standards were not very high. So it wasn't like we were doing this in the US. And a lady has a hydraulic press and something got bumped and her hand got put underneath the hydraulic press. And I see her hand get flattened and her arm comes out like she has a shield. But it's like her arm that has been flattened.
Okay, I don't care.
I want to throw up
on from these things.
What
I don't find them interesting. You're sick. You got
Can you please pull up the video of the girl getting steamrolled by the biker?
so I could see more videos like that.
It's not anywhere near as bad as those ones. It just made me think of something about bike race because it happened during a bike race. I don't know what the hell the woman was doing. She ran out in the middle of the freaking race and it's like, oh, and then the guy just boom runs into her ass. Lays her out. Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm worried what the hell this is going to do for my algorithm.
Oh, it's fine.
You want to know what comes up on my YouTube algorithm?
What?
Like fantasy baseball stuff and
80s
wrestling stuff.
80s wrestling.
I see a lot of these where fans
why
are
Disney is failing as
cycles.
a company, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. You just watch political nonsense, so enjoy.
Okay, can you please play the video?
It's got a 14-second advertisement, you mother. Give me a second, okay?
Why do we want to watch this?
It's just watch it. It's not bad.
I'm not interested in watching some woman get run over by a bicycle. Look at this guy. He looks like he deserves to be run over by a bicycle.
Okay.
Grumpy, you're going to be like, ow! I guarantee you that's going to be your comment.
Oh, boy. Is that it?
Oh, that's not it. That's not the right one.
On the side of the road.
Look
at this.
No, that's not the right
You know what
one.
that looks like? It looks like TJ, like when he stepped on an ant nest. Yeah, watch this. Watch them all come
At the
out.
moment now, how many riders?
A lot.
Let's hope. That is a massive crash, Bob. It's completely. It was a Jumbo Visma ride. It wasn't. Was it?
I think that was Tony
Because
Martin.
the whole.
Man, he got run over a whole bunch of times.
Yes, he
Oh,
could
yeah,
have
he
been.
did. That's not the right one.
He just hit the side of the
video did
road
you
and
hit?
lost the front wheel.
Here it is.
You can see right on the
It looked like pilot
near
error.
the front. Watch him try to get around his teammate. And
This
go
lady
down.
in
He
yellow.
might have clipped that
He
spectator.
went off the road.
This lady in yellow was standing in the middle of the fucking
I
road.
think he went off the road. The road has got a nasty ridge on it there.
What?
This
Now,
lady
what's
in
on
yellow
this?
got in
What's
the way.
gonna happen?
This you'll see here. I'm trying to see if they've got maybe the slow motion. You'll see here. So it's this. Oh man, they're still getting
Over to you.
back up. It's a lady in yellow who's standing out there with a sign. I got run over. Oh my god, looking at all the damn chaos. Yeah, some lady stepped
That's
in
not
front
the
here.
Him try to get around his teammate.
This one right here who's starting to do like a spin.
That's a guy.
Oh, the guy, I don't care who it
Oh, he
is.
might have clipped
One
that
in yellow?
He went off the road.
Yeah.
Whoever it was got clipped. So
Okay,
there's
that's
one.
not the lady getting run over. Okay.
You talking about this one, X?
That one. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Go fully sized.
Hey, when's Cobra Kai coming back on?
And the worst thing is it's right
buns.
near the finish line. Who does this shit?
Oh my god.
Like,
You
get
know
out
all
of
these
the
people get-
street.
Like, look at this guy. Yeah, this guy's huffing it, trying.
Why did they cut it off? Why did they fog it out?
Because they don't like to show stuff like that because their videos get removed or age restricted, Grumpy. So you can't do stuff like
what
that.
the hell is she doing?
She's
like,
on her phone. Do you see? Okay, look at the freeze frame right before contact. She's on her phone, staring at her fucking phone, walking across shit. Not paying attention, then gets nailed by a biker. I don't know.
She was probably checking out WNBA scores.
Jesus Christ.
Ah, it was too easy.
I wish they would show the actual video because I'm
Why
like,
is anyone wandering across the street?
I love how they're not. I don't know why people are walking across the street. That kind of blows my mind too. With their phone in their hand. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. All these people who are walking across the street, I'm like, dude, come on.
I don't get it. You see the guys coming. Why are you crossing? Why are you moving into the street? Like
This guy
like,
did it too.
okay,
Like, what the fuck is he doing?
They're standing. Everyone's standing away from.
Oh my
That
god,
woman
she
is
tries
so
to
stupid.
speed up. They knocked her fucking glasses
Here's
off.
my
too.
thing. Everyone was standing back, and all of a sudden the bikers come. Now we're going to cross. Now we're going to get in the middle of the street.
Boom! Hold on, her phone goes flying. She
Dude,
gets. I
some
mean,
shit
she gets
goes flying.
absolutely
I
taxed.
wish she would have got decapitated.
Wade. I told you you'd like this, Grump.
Okay,
Hold
that's
on a second. We'll watch it in slow motion for you, okay, Grumpy? He's huffing. This guy's
Oh,
puffing.
Yeah, he's trying to win the race.
Da-da-da.
Look at him. He's all smiling. He's so happy.
I gotta go quick.
Boom!
The phone goes flying. Oof.
I like she's totally
Would
up
you
and
say-
down. She smashed her head on the concrete.
hold
I
on.
like that better.
Grump, hold on. Should you go back a little bit? Because I think their heads hit. So would you say that was a targeting
Yeah.
of the biker?
I was about to say, biker needs to be suspended for the rest of the game, baby. This looks like helmet-to-helmet contact.
That's right. Sure, he would have got thrown out of the league.
Look, watch him. Look. Boom.
Throw the flag, 15 yards.
I'm gonna let you know they
15
both
yard
got
targeting.
They both got knocked out.
I wish that he would have lowered his head. It was too late. I wish he would have lowered his head. He might have got. I don't know. Maybe not. I didn't want him to hurt himself.
think you
No, I
need
don't give a
to
shit
wheel
if she's dead.
They both got, dude. He got knocked out. Is right. They both did. Their bodies just go limp as they fall to the ground.
Grump, you wish he would have popped a wheelie when he hit. Before he hit her.
God almighty.
You know what he needed to make this? That you know what? How
I
he
do
really-
feel bad for him. I don't know why. And like who the hell walks in front of a, like it's the video where you see like the track where they're running on the track and they hit each other or something like that. Yeah, this is just
like
not a,
sprinters running, and then somebody goes across the track and they hit the person.
yeah.
You know what would have been really cool if that guy had baseball cards in his spokes.
Mickey Mantles.
Mickey Mantles is right.
Yep.
Shit. Okay. Let's see here. I think that's probably roughing the passer. There you go. I like the face the bicyclist makes. Oh God.
No.
A Telegram was has tons of channels where they post several videos of accidents. X, there you go. They enjoy, buddy.
Thank you. I'll get him and then I'll send him to TJ because I know he loves them.
I will not open any of those.
I don't even. The funny thing is, I don't even look at them. I just send them to you.
Yeah, you're fucked. Fucked in the
I just
head.
read the
Watch
caption.
your mouth.
Like,
Watch your mouth.
This is going to send to TJ.
Oh man.
What kind of video? What kind of things do I send you, X?
Cristiano Ronaldo news.
That's it. Or Real Madrid news, or just stuff like that. Sporting stuff. That's it.
Drew says that woman who got clobbered definitely bet on the second person and said, I need my money. So she walked in front of the first place guy, got him injured. But, at least she could have got her money's worth.
He should have had, he still should have won that race. They should have said you won the race.
For real, he
I
definitely
think-
should have won the race.
I think the whole bike race was staged for Final Destination.
Destination. Oh my God.
I cannot believe somebody, like, you would figure, man, oh man, you'd be looking at least.
One of
Like,
the only
you look the road, both sides of the road when you cross.
only positive to this is if she's texting and walking across the street during a freaking bike race or on her phone during a bike race, she does that behind the wheel of a car. So hopefully maybe this accident will teach her, hey, maybe I shouldn't be on my phone while I drive.
Meatball Parm says, you guys still on? Why is TJ wearing 2 headbands? It's too much to know. How did this turn into a 3-hour podcast?
I don't know. But we're wrapping things up. It's freaking late. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm wrapping things up. Let's wrap it up. Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up, man?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
Son X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here?
Thanks for coming out and listening, TJ. Yikes. Everybody have a good night.
Thanks so much everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the engagement. We'll be with you guys Sunday,
8:30
Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, no Islanders Never Say Die podcast on Saturday, but we will have a show on Sunday. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much, Grumpy. Thanks so much, Son X.
My pleasure.